Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to an episode of Let's Talk Jets Radio, a winning episode, a Victory Tuesday episode, the first time in a gazillion years we could actually talk about a victory, so that's pretty damn cool. As always, our call-in number, 929-477-2651. You can find us on Spreaker.com, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. We're on Instagram and Twitter, @TalkJetsRadio. And check us out on YouTube. Pretty much me, Primetime, and Joe doing stuff daily on YouTube. Let's Talk Jets Radio. Check it out. We appreciate all the subscribers, all the comments, everything else. It's been complete chaos. We're also on Facebook, too. I know Joe's doing a great job with that. Let's Talk Jets Radio. And as you guys know, Joe is a member of the fire department. And unfortunately, right now, he is dealing with a fire issue. So we're going to have a very comparable replacement, a very fired-up replacement. Mr. Primetime, what is up, man?
What's going on, Ty? How you doing?
Dude, I'm doing great, man. I know this is kind of impromptu, but we'll do the best we can with this. We both were running really late, so this is going to be a wild show. But the really cool thing is pretty much, with football, you're only as good as your last performance. And going into the Cowboy game, the Jets were playing like trash. A lot of us predicted a bad loss or a disappointing loss based on the way they were playing. But the return of Sam Darnold changed a lot of things, and it was like night and day with the performance of this team, from the quarterback to the offensive line to the receivers. I mean, the entire performance was different. It was different. It was completely shocking, to be honest with you, to see Sam be that good that early and to even see Adam Gase change a lot. So I guess, Kevin, what we'll do is we'll start with the offense, and we won't even start with Sam. Were you surprised by the way the offensive line played?
I guess a little bit. I mean, it's impossible to talk, I guess, about the offensive line without talking about Sam, just because, and I said it on the YouTube channel quite a bit, like all the little things that he's doing is making the offensive line better. The combination of that and I think also Gase having more confidence in him to, just throw the entire playbook at him, I think all those things coming together is going to make this offensive line a lot better. I don't think this is a talent issue on the O-line. You have a lot of veterans in there, even with Alex Lewis replacing Assembly now. So, yeah, I mean, I think the offensive line played well. I think they only gave up 2 sacks, and that was even with, Shell coming in there for Beachum towards the second half. So, yeah, I mean, not bad. Trending upward. You want to see it get a little bit better still, but, a step in the right direction.
Yeah, and I actually, to be honest with you, I like the play calling, too. Like, listen, I've ripped Adam Gase up, down, and backwards for his play calling, for his game management, roster management. Still some questionable things, but he was a lot more aggressive. They weren't scared to throw the ball. They weren't scared to let Sam do his thing. It was a completely different mindset. And to be honest with you, it was needed. Like, this you wanted to see a desperate team, and you saw that. Like, everything you wanted to see going into this game is exactly what you saw, which was a surprise to me. Now, I'm not calling Gase a guru, a genius, a great coach. I'm calling this a much-needed win that you have to build off of. And you mentioned the offensive line, the injury to Beachum, which could be huge now. It seems like every week something goes wrong with this offensive line. Now it's another injury. But I was really encouraged by the receivers, dude. Even like Demaryius Thomas, who I'm not really a fan of, he had some big catches. Crowder was back to himself. Robbie Anderson with a 92-yard touchdown. Dude, it's like they spread the ball around. They got Montgomery involved, Powell involved. Ryan Griffin, I mean, he caught a touchdown. Yep. I know it, too. It's like, this was the preseason team we saw. And it's like, why couldn't, it's so frustrating they lost that Bills game. That's big now. It's also frustrating that they played like trash the weeks before this. But, dude, it was everything you wanted to see, to be honest.
No, and that's the most frustrating part is that if you had a healthy Sam for, this entire season, you're talking about it at minimum, I think, being at least 3-2, if not potentially 4-1, maybe steal the Eagle game without their secondary in there. So, yeah, I mean, the fact that you have it healthy now and the schedule is the way it is, yeah, there's a lot to look forward to, I still think, the rest of the season. But it's just a shame what the season could have been if you just could have stayed afloat. And that's why I still don't say Adam Gase gets a pass for what happened in the first 4 weeks. It's okay to give him a clean slate and say, all right, we're going to judge you now on this offense with Sam, which, I'm trying to do. And I was encouraged by what we saw on Sunday. But it still doesn't excuse how horribly they handled a bad situation. It made it 10 times worse. So, you can look at the fact that they gave Darnold the first-team reps leading up to last week and say, all right, maybe that put him in a better position this week. But still, sign somebody else. Like, you can't just run Luke Falk out there and throw away games. So that's the only thing that just pissed me off. But go ahead.
Well, dude, I'm still pissed too because then they cut Falk and they bring in Fales, which is even more ridiculous. But you look at the offense, you saw a lot of positives. Defensively, I mean, Jamal Adams playing at an all-pro level, Neville Hewitt. I mean, a lot of these guys. I mean, and then it's like the defensive line. It was. I mean, Leonard Williams played very well. I mean, the Cowboys were without 2 tackles, which was definitely helped them. But Greg Williams was ultra aggressive, and it was different guys. It was like Kyle Phillips and Fotokasi and all these guys, dude. It was like unsung heroes kind of players making big plays.
No, and that's what's great to see with the defense, that they're playing good team defense. It's not like you're having, one guy that's, just stealing the show, or, a pass rusher that's making all these plays like a Khalil Mack. It's a team effort. You have Jamal Adams, who's all over the place. You have Marcus May, who's been stepping up this year. He's showing, what we were hoping he was going to be last year if he would have stayed healthy. So, him and Adams back there together. I love seeing the two of them. And, yeah, you mentioned a lot of the under-the-radar guys like Fotokasi and Phillips, even Neville Hewitt, he was running around. Tremaine Johnson had a couple tackles, and Brian Poole also. Everything he hits, it seems like those guys stay down. I know he hit Cooper. Yep. I think Njoku, he delivered the hit on him on the Cleveland game. So, these guys are hitting hard, and, guys are feeling it when they go down. So that's good, man.
Yeah, it's making you wonder, I know they re-signed McClendon for another year, but it's like, hey, you know what? Some of these guys like Poole and Hewitt, they seem like guys you want to keep on this team. And now you're like, while you're 1-4, you're still evaluating what you have, finding pieces for the future, and you can't have 22 All-Stars. So if you want to pick up a Hewitt or a Poole, guys like that, it makes sense to keep them around. So it's definitely exciting, and what I wanted to ask you was, the stadium environment, go ahead.
Well, I was going to ask you, just touching on, some guys that, we think should be staying around for the future, in particular for guys that are going to be free agents next year, Leo, Robbie Anderson, Jordan Jenkins, who had a nice game coming back. These are all guys that are supposed to be free agents, not, Joe Douglas's guys. If you're 1-4, if you're 1-5 at the, deadline coming up, are you trading or are you buyers still? I mean, how do you go into this trade deadline when you have some young guys that might be part of your future, but, you still, as, Joe Douglas, he wants to bring in guys that, are his guys. So I don't know how he's going to approach this.
Yeah, to me, it's like, you could tell that Adam Gase and Sam both love Robbie Anderson. They do. And it's like, now it's going to come down to what are his contract demands. You're going to have to pay him on potential because his numbers aren't going to be there because of lousy quarterback play. So, to me, it's going to be like, all right, what are your demands? What do you want? I think they'll try to work something out. Jordan Jenkins, while he's a good player, I don't think he'll command a lot. So he's a good kind of like, all right, a very good, solid player. To me, Leonard Williams, even though he showed some things, is not a $14 million a year player. He's not an elite player, and I'm not paying him like one. Listen, you can call Leonard Williams a player and then still say you want to trade him. And that's what I'd say. Listen, you know what? If you want $8 million a year, $9 million a year, you can stay. If you want anything over that, you're out of here. And it's just like the defensive line is like, Kevin, that money could be spent somewhere else. You have Quentin Williams who showed flashes. You re-sign McClendon. You have Fotokasi. You have Henry Anderson. You have a plethora of linemen. So do you want to pay Leonard Williams $14 million a year, or use that money elsewhere and maybe get a draft pick? And I'm using the money elsewhere. I'm getting a draft pick.
No, dude, I agree, and I'm kind of in that same boat. The only reason I brought it up is just because if you beat the Patriots on Monday night, suddenly I think everything changes where you really can't go into the deadline as sellers. No.
Probably not. If you're 2-4 with that schedule coming up, I mean, I think your viewpoint changes a bit.
That's what I'm saying. And it's not like you can't even still get a draft pick. If you get a comp pick at the end of the year, I don't know, how that would affect, other free agent signings that they might bring in. But yeah, I think Leo is the one guy that is different from the rest in the sense that you just drafted Quentin Williams, who could be his replacement. You have a couple other young defensive linemen, Fotokasi, who knows what Shepard's going to be when he comes back, if he's still in their plans or not. So I think there are a lot of reasons you can move on from Leo if you don't view him as that impact player who's worthy of the $14-15 million a year contract. So.
Yeah, the thing is, it's really cool to be excited about this victory as Jet fan. It's nice to be like, wow, we have a quarterback, we look good, everybody looks in sync. But then at the same time, it's one win, and you go and get your ass kicked by the Patriots, and this whole good feeling you have now is gone. You got to build on it, keep progressing, and keep showing development, and that's what the whole goal of the season is at this point. But like you said, if you get that win on Monday, that's, well, hold on, now we got 2-4. We got some weak opponents after that. You can maybe string along some things and make this really interesting. Now, the one thing I'm real curious about was the stadium environment, because on TV, it looked like it was like 50-50. So what what was the stadium like with the Cowboy fans?
Yeah, I'll be completely honest. The stadium environment was not good as usual, and I've reached the point where I stopped trying to get my hopes up going into a game just because I know what it's going to be, and I think most Jet fans knew what this game was going to be. 0-4, even with Sam coming back, you were hoping for a little bit of a pop, and even during the introductions, he got his standing ovation, and then the crowd was dead quiet right after that. So yeah, the Cowboy fans, they were louder than Jet fans, and it was kind of classless. I'll say, Jets had a couple injuries, players were down, and they were doing their "Let's Go Cowboy" chants. So it was nice to send them out of there with a loss. Definitely in the fourth quarter, I think the crowd got a little bit more amped up as they sensed that, the team had a chance to close this thing out, and, Ed was getting the defense chance going and stuff like that. So, they got into it a little bit towards the end, but it was still nowhere near where it used to be or where it should be when you're talking about, having a home field advantage.
Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Like, you see, like, even Le'Veon Bell made a comment, Bilal Powell comment. They all commented about the stadium, like, how it was nice to silence the fans. And it was like, wow, it's got to suck for them where, especially some of these new guys like Le'Veon, he's probably like, dude, what the hell is this? I never see this in Pittsburgh. But you know what? It's a product of being 0-4. It's a product of the PSLs. It's a product of the stadium and everything else. And that's just, unless you win, then nobody's going to come. And that's just the way it's always going to be with Jet fans at this point.
Yeah, dude, it's the product of about 9 years of bad decisions, all leading to what we've watched over the last 9 years. So yeah, until you give fans a reason to come back out and they see it consistently, they're probably not going to. And when they do, they're not really going to be excited. So.
No, I definitely agree. So I guess the big news obviously is other than the victory is Chris Herndon's going to be back. Whether he's healthy enough to play this week fully will be interesting. Obviously, Brandon Copeland's back. Frankie Luvu's gone, which kind of sucks. I thought he was a player with some pretty good potential. What are your thoughts on the return of Herndon, Kevin? I mean, how much more can that make this offense click?
Well, the fact that they were able to get Ryan Griffin involved on Sunday, I mean, you put Herndon in there now, you work some two tight end sets. I mean, the chemistry that him and Darnold had, last year was already good, and then you saw it continue in training camp. They were stretching the field a little bit with him, so I think he's going to be a huge weapon for this offense.
Yeah, I mean it's exciting, man. Like you saw the play calling, you saw the aggressiveness. And I think the thing that was most impressive to me, and this I think what Sam Darnold always impresses me, is his footwork, his mobility, and his way to buy time in the pocket. Dude, it's so rare and so unique.
It's amazing to watch.
Where he can just slide and move around. Dude, it's like, and his footwork is like pinpoint, and he can throw up his back foot and it's still dead accurate. It's impressive, man.
For 22 years old, the things he does in the pocket is just insane. That's literally the one thing that I'm just always focused on when I'm watching the game. In the past years, I'd watch receivers, see if they're getting separation, watch the O-line. I'm just constantly watching Sam Darnold and watching what he's doing in the pocket, watching him, even before the snap. Like, he was making audibles, reading defense. Like, those were things you were not seeing with Falk. He wasn't doing those things. So he gets it. For 22 years old, he gets it. And it's so cool to see. And, you want to judge him and Gase together. So, again, like, going back to the first 4 games, yeah, they sucked, but now it's a fresh start for me. So, all the Gase stuff, like, everyone keeps talking about, I just want to see him and Sam for the rest of the season and see if they could just keep making progress. Build off this win, play competitive against the Patriots, utilize Herndon, and, keep getting all these weapons involved. Just keep building off of this. Keep Sam in the right direction.
No, I agree. And see, this was a needed win for Adam Gase and the Jets. But now it's like you don't get your season doesn't end today. Like that, your one win doesn't just justify you being hired or anything else. Now it's like I want to see you with all your parts. Hopefully Mosley's back too. All your parts go toe to toe with the Patriots. Like there should be no more blowout losses here. We want to see high level football from here on out because that's what we expect and that's what you're brought here for. Especially when you could see what they can all do. Like, he was very aggressive against the Cowboys because the Cowboys has clear flaws. But now it's like, I want to see that same approach like the Patriots. Like, I want to see you be like that week in and week out, aggressive on both sides of the ball, flying around, making plays, confusing them, taking advantage of matchups. That's what you want to see, man. And it should continue. There's no more. This is it. Like 1 week doesn't make you a hero. You got to do this the rest of the season.
Curious, are you buying into any of those rumors that were out there that, he wasn't trying to show his full playbook for for the 3 games that Falk was in there?
No, I think he's full of it. That's nonsense. I think he completely mishandled They mishandled it for 3 weeks.
Well,
Nobody bought
when
in.
When he was asked about it on the Michael Kay show, he kind of gave like a roundabout answer. Well, we were trying to put together the best matchup for the O-line and the quarterback that we had, and vice versa when Sam came back, which almost kind of like to me said, yeah, you kind of didn't really think he had a chance to win the game, and you just threw Falk out there for the hell of it. Not to keep rehashing all that.
That's right. But that's what drives me crazy, though. It's like they mailed in the 3 games. That's like that. The players knew it. They knew it. Like they knew they had no chance to win the games, and they played like it. I mean, they were just demoralized to start it. Like, and to be honest with you, I don't like how they're handling it now. Like, why is Fales your backup quarter? Like why not Josh Johnson, or why not? Like, why? We've seen what the offense can do. If Sam God forbid gets banged up again, why not have his serviceable backup? Like, what is there a rule against this or something?
No idea. They're always waiting for something to go wrong, and then they react. So, and even today, like with the news with Osemele being out, another offensive lineman down, you're going to have to reshuffle things there possibly. So, yeah, I mean, dude, it makes no sense.
Yeah. I mean, and now, this is going to be interesting to see with Osemele out. That's you have him, you have Beachum banged up. It's like, all right, now, like, your whole left side of the line.
I'm curious who they're going to put at left tackle now.
That's exactly it. And you know what, to be honest, Alex Lewis played phenomenal. He played very, very well.
I wouldn't mind seeing him at left tackle when you throw Harrison at left guard.
That's exactly what I was going to say, because I don't want to put a Dogo over there. I don't want to put Chuma over there. Like, I hate that idea.
No, not yet.
So, interesting times, man. But overall, your overall assessment of this game on Sunday, man?
Overall, I'm feeling good. I tried to completely wipe away those first 4 games and just judge this game with most of their pieces back. And, you figure the defense is still going to get a boost when they get Mosley back. They didn't have Hairston either or Henry Anderson. And 4 out of 5 games, they've been competitive and given the offense a chance to win. And, that's really all you could ask for. And, Adam Gase and Darnold, they got to do their job going forward. And I'm confident that they will, based off of, what we saw on Sunday. I'm starting to feel a little bit confident that they might be able to do it. Definitely with Sam, obviously. Sam has all the tools. And, it kind of sucked, honestly, today, hearing about Gase talk about him being an eraser. Like, yeah, it's nice to have that luxury that Sam can erase your bad plays. But here's a crazy idea. How about not putting him in those bad situations? How about putting him in situations that are easy, where he can make quick throws, get the ball out quickly like he was doing on Sunday? They found the perfect opportunity to get Robbie his deep ball. They got actually 2 touchdowns before the half. So, taking that momentum into the half and being able to come out in the second half, up 2 scores, like that was huge. That was the difference in the game. So, just keeping the foot on the gas, staying aggressive, using all their weapons, keeping the O-line in sync with communications and everything. Just keep everything trending in the right direction.
No, I completely agree. Well, Primetime, thank you for joining me. I'm going to go to some calls now so you can back and listen to my chaos.
Sounds good, man.
We're going to go to Steve. Steve, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up, Tyson? How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good, feeling great after that we finally got our first W of the 2019 season, 24-22 win against the Cowboys. Now, the one thing I'm just going to say really quickly was if you remember that play when the Cowboys had 1st and 27, that Jamal Adams pass interference call was absolute bull crap. I was so pissed, Tyson, at that call. I thought at first that was going to cost us the game. There were times in that game where I thought the referees refed a bad game.
Well, I mean, Steve, the only problem is that's happening throughout the NFL. If you watched the game last night, the Lions were completely robbed. Bad officiating is just part of it now. Like, it's horrendous all across the league, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. But, here are some things, though. Let me tell you, ever since from yesterday going into today, I keep watching that 92-yard touchdown pass that Darnold threw to Robbie. My God, the stadium, I know we haven't been getting as not as much fans at our game, but I'll tell you one thing. Oh my God, that pass was incredible. And Sam looked absolutely amazing at his back. I thought I was going to be a little bit worried, seeing him be a little rusty. He didn't look rusty at all. He looked like the quarterback we drafted number 3 overall in 2018.
No, dude, listen, I agree. I mean, and he got hit early, so it was like he got welcomed to the game really quickly. The second play, he got sacked, he got blasted. You're like, all right, well, he's assimilated now. Were you surprised by the offensive line?
No, listen, I give the offensive line credit. This was probably the best game that the Jets' offensive line has played so far this season. You know, I hope that continues more throughout the season coming up. I mean, I know we've got the game against New England on Monday Night Football, but I'm just hoping the offensive line continues to play like how they did it on Sunday against Dallas.
And what were your thoughts about the defense?
The defense played very good, too. I mean, Jamal Adams is playing at a Pro Bowl level. I'll tell you one thing. Jamal Adams saved the game for the Jets. That play when Dallas went for the 2-point conversion, Jamal Adams saved the day for us. Because, I mean, it was just, what happened was the Cowboys' offensive line was just not ready at that time when Jamal Adams, blitzed through and Prescott had to get rid of it. But you know something? I mean, it was a great team win. Adam Gase, got his first win as Jets head coach. He finally coached his best game as Jets head coach. Finally coached a great game. Hopefully, this continues more as the season goes on. Only thing is, that I was a little bit disappointed was, after we went up 21-3, there was nothing we couldn't do about it, when the kicker on the Cowboys got the 62-yard field goal. I mean, I give the Cowboys kicker a lot of credit on that. But at the same time, though, the defense finally played very aggressive throughout the whole game. I like what Greg Williams did on his play calling with the defense. Still have to get that pass rush in because, even though Dallas was down a couple of their offensive linemen, the Jets still need to get a rusher. Because there were times in the game where Prescott did have chances to be back, and, have all the time in the world to find someone. But, we just got to find a way to still get that pass rush in.
No, listen, man. Steve, thanks for calling in. We appreciate it. And that's a good point for him is, the pass rush was definitely still a work in progress. You got to hope that they'd find ways to generate something. And late in the game, after all the tremendous amount of penalties, which were completely ridiculous, you want to see somebody make a play, and you want it to not come down to a 2-point conversion. You want to see a stop before that. You're almost seeing the ghost of Jets pass, where it's like, here we go again, fourth quarter collapse, the Jets are going to lose, but they found a way to win, so thank God for that. Jamal Adams, like I said, playing at an all-pro level right now. So we're going to go to our good friend Shaq. Shaq, what's up, man?
Oh, what's up? What's up, Tyson? How you doing? How you doing?
Dude, it's Victory Tuesday, man. It's Victory Tuesday.
You know something? I'm happy. I'm happy. We got a quarterback of the future. No question. Sam made the old line look better. He made everybody play better on offense. He had everybody just, morale up. When I seen that third drive or second drive with him pushing the ball, it put a smile on my face. It put a little smirk on my face. I'm like, man, we really got a quarterback. But you know something, Tyson? I remember you talking about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I want to say, I think, one of the shows, you said, our defense, guys talk so much on it, but we never can make that important stop. We never can make that stop. Our defense bends too much. Entirely too much. And they played good the first half, but after that, can you imagine if Amari Cooper was out there? Can you imagine?
Dude, I was sitting there like we're sitting and you're like, how many times have we seen this happen? Like the fourth quarter, and you're begging somebody, the penalties were ridiculous. It was just totally ruined the game. But you're like, somebody make a play, But it's just like somebody just get a sack, make a play, knock a ball down, do anything. Let's not get gouged. And it was happening again. And then they got bailed out with the 2-point conversion because there was actually a penalty on that. So in the end, it wasn't pretty, man. There was some concerning things there.
I said, man, this is ridiculous, man. We gotta get some personnel through the door, man. We gotta get some personnel in the door, man, on defense, and we gotta trade for Trent Williams while he's still out there, man. Not even for
especially
the sake
now.
of, you probably, especially now, because you don't have a tackle now. I don't trust Brandon Shell over there. I don't trust Brandon Shell on Sam Darnold's back blind side. No, and no. Trent Williams gotta be that guy right there. Yes, you can say we probably won't have a chance this year. Maybe not. But it'll put some cracks in the door for better opportunities and better players to try to come and play for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm tired of seeing these overhyped players and I couldn't take it. Like, on the defense, I'm like, if we lose this game, there's nobody to blame but that defense. That defense that everybody was praising and giving kudos to, and we got the points now. Why couldn't we beat Dallas by 20? I felt like we should have beat them by 20, to be honest. We should have beat them by 20. It shouldn't have been a heartbeat, our hearts just beating fast from a Demaryius Thomas reach over to grab the football and pull it back into his stomach. It shouldn't have been that. It shouldn't have been that. The game should have been locked and sealed away. We should have kept that same intensity that we had in the first half. We should have did that the same thing in the second half. I almost cursed. We got to keep it going. We got to keep it going. Like, it's been like that for years. I'm tired of looking at that. I'm tired of it. Yep. I'm like, Jamal Adams played his heart out. A guy wrote a post. He's like, man, I wish we had 11 Jamal Adams. Not saying, Quentin Williams played good. I love Kyle Phillips. He did his thing. Leonard actually did something last game. He actually hit the quarterback this time. He hit the quarterback more than twice. I thought, it's just something that, that's missing. It's like, I don't know. I want to say it's the corners. We give up too many, yards. And yes, that pick Sam Darnold threw was, it was pretty shaky, but still, we still should get turnovers. We got to get turnovers. That's a great defense. If we get turnovers, that is a good defense to me. But just bending all game and just hoping and praying, that's not a good defense.
Well, the thing that concerned me, too, was, like, you figure that they played so well. I mean, they hit Dak Prescott a lot. They definitely hit him a lot, but it was like, all right, they're without two tackles, and the adjustments at halftime, it's like, all right, they've made adjustments. How did we adjust? And it's like, you can say it was like, damn it, don't break. It was like Greg Williams waited till they got to, like, the 40-yard line. Like, all right, now I'm going to start blitzing. Now I'm going to start doing things. But then Dak was already in rhythm. Like, they were already in sync, and it was like, oh. Yeah. And I was saying the same thing. I'm like, you're waiting for, like I think it's a pass rusher, man. It's an outside guy that just that can get free. And because, like, you look at other teams, like, when it's, like, in crunch time, you need that guy that gets through, that can just completely from the outside make the quarterback rush out of the pocket, force a pass, anything, not just sit there. And the Jets are getting that now by blitzing Adams, by blitzing all these other guys, and that's what hurts them. It just takes away from them. But it was scary. I was sitting there, I'm like, it's so crazy how that 2-point conversion changed so much. If they got that, we would have went from celebrating on Monday to wanting everybody fired. Because we would have been pissed. Like, I can't believe we blew this game. Think about it. We blew the Bills game. Right? Think about it, though. You blew a 16-point lead against the Bills. You played horrible for 3 weeks, and then you blow a lead against the Cowboys at home. When Sam comes back, that 2-point conversion changed so much for Adam Gase and this team. It really did.
Yep. Because how many times they made it to the red zone? They made it to the red zone a lot. A good amount of times. They made it there a good amount of times. They missed a field goal, and they didn't go, and they went forward on 4th down. We kind of got bailed. And then I want to say that penalty, it's a ticky-tack penalty, but, that one, I say whatever, too. It is what it is. But they made it to the goal line a lot. And you just got to get guys that can get the turnovers, man. Marcus May got to start catching the picks. He can't,
he played well,
he's dropping picks. He played well. He played really, really good. I forgot to add him in it. He played good, but he just got to finish the play. He doesn't finish the play. He hasn't been finishing the plays. That Bills game, he finishes the play, he might win that game. Last game, he finishes the 2 interceptions that he possibly get. You know, the game is over. We wouldn't have to be in the nail biter.
Well, the only cool thing is this is a game the Jets would usually lose, and they won it. So that's the one positive thing. They desperately needed it, but now it's like, all right, you got your win, you got your momentum change. Now you got to keep building on it. Like you can't like it's you have no time to screw around. There, you're 1-4. You got to find a way to keep rolling and keep improving because even if you don't go to playoffs, you got to salvage the season to the point where you're playing competitive, good football week in and week out because you're evaluating everybody.
Yep. This is the year. You know, Joe Douglas might be the make or break year for everybody because Joe Douglas might. I don't know. He might clean house. Hopefully, because this year, he started off really slow. We still stuck in our old situation.
Let's be honest. He's got his hands full now. The Alex Lewis move worked out for him. The Nate Hairston move so far worked out for him. But now you're without a left tackle. And now I want to see how creative you get with that. I hate the way they're handling the quarterback position. I think they're grossly mishandling it, and they continue to do so.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting, man. They have some challenges ahead. But Shaq, thanks for calling, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. And one more thing. Where the hell is Joe?
Yes, sir.
He's
a fireman, man. He's a fireman. He's got a meeting, man. He's a fireman.
He told me better make a damn video.
You know how hard it is to do this by myself, man? I don't enjoy this. This is hard.
No, Tyson, you're doing a great job. Don't worry about it. You're doing a great job. Don't worry about it. He just better make a damn video tomorrow to make up for this. He better make a video for this, making up for this tomorrow. And it got to be 10 minutes long.
He'll be on. He's coming back on shortly. But Shaq, thanks for calling him, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Talk to you Friday.
Yes, sir. Once again, our call-in number is 929-477-2651. We're on Instagram and Twitter at TalkJetsRadio. We're on Facebook, Let's Talk Jets Radio, and we are on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. We've got tons of videos on there. Let's Talk Jets Radio. But before we talk some football, we're going to talk about something 10 times more important than football, and that's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. As you guys know, we've been trying to do a lot of work, spreading awareness, spreading stories, getting everybody involved, whether it's male or female, to learn about the impact of breast cancer, prevention and everything like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring on, I hope I say her name right, Salima Staten from the Sisters Network. Salima, this is Tyson. How you doing?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Did I say your name right?
It was absolutely perfect.
Okay, good. I didn't want to make any mistakes. So, Salima, can you just talk about how Breast Cancer Awareness Month is important to you and the Sisters Network?
Well, breast cancer awareness is important not only to me, to Sisters Network, but it needs to be very critically important to everyone because it's starting to affect so many lives. And a couple years ago, I was in the same situation, just assisting Sisters Network with their outreach programs and, different events until it actually hit home. So making sure that everyone is aware, male and female, is very critical because it's starting to affect so many different people of all ages, ethnicities, and backgrounds.
Okay, and then as I hear the story about you and your family, can you tell us about how your aunt was diagnosed and how that impacted your family?
Oh, yeah. That was life-changing. It was a conversation that we had a couple years ago. Unfortunately, she did not survive, but we were able to spend a lot of time together during her treatment and even afterwards. But initially, it was very shocking for us because when she had the conversation with us, we knew at that time that it was a very serious issue. But at that moment, I really didn't have as much information as I have now, which is why I said it's very critical that we all get the information that we need so that we know what necessary steps to take. So when she shared it with us, we were just really shocked, and we really didn't know how to process it. And so it took us a little while to kind of jumpstart and get a plan in place. I think mentally she was in a different space, and then the family was in a different space, but the doctors knew exactly what steps that they needed to take, but it needed to be a joint venture. We all needed to be on board. So I strongly encourage everyone to get as much information as you can. It's vital information all over the internet. Sisters Network, the American Cancer Society. There's so many different networks across the country that provides the information. So I'm just encouraging and challenging everyone to get as much information as they can. So if they are in my position or in a position of someone being diagnosed, they know exactly what they need to do.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for sharing that, and we're very sorry for your loss. You know, how when you discover the situation with your relative having that, how much does that impact your family? How much does it change your everyday life and the way you just go about doing things?
Well, because my aunt was so independent and she was one of the matriarchs of my family, I knew it would be a little challenging to try to volunteer my services or to just try to volunteer my time with her. And especially elderly and people who have been recently diagnosed with illnesses and diseases, you know, they may be a little bit reluctant to ask people for assistance. So I would just make it a point to be available on my days off because I'm off 3 days out of the week. So on those days off, I would make myself available and, you know, maybe call her up and ask her what did she want for lunch or what would she like for breakfast, instead of putting the ball in her court and asking her to call me if she needed help. So I would just volunteer my time, and then at that point, you know, she may respond and ask me, okay, well, can you take me for treatment? Or since you're here, can you pick up my medication? So it was just, you know, I just had to try to find creative ways to be there for her without making her feel like she was asking for help.
Salima, my name is Joe, and I want to welcome you to the show. Can you speak a little bit about how the Sisters Network has impacted you?
Hi, John. John or Joe?
It's Joe.
Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm all right.
Well, again, Sisters Network, one thing that I really appreciate about the organization is that they work directly with the community. So we can actually see where the resources and the funding is going. Sisters Network of Essex County, they provide a lot of financial assistance, resources, and they actually participate in numerous outreach programs and events a year. So at the time when my family member was diagnosed, I really didn't have a lot of information on breast cancer awareness, but the women in the organization, the survivors, and then there's another part of the group who they're called the support group, so they're non-survivors. Everyone just automatically jumped in and helped me out with anything that I needed, as far as whether it was resources that I needed for my family member or if it was just really to provide emotional support.
And that's great that you bring in all the things that the Sisters Network is doing with the community, as you said, all the support that they provide, getting information out there and awareness out there as well, Salima. But can you tell our listeners how they can get involved with the Sisters Network? What can they do to help?
Well, the Sisters Network is actually a national organization, so they're all over the country. But specifically, if they wanted to work with Sisters Network of Essex County, they can. We have two major events that we coordinate every year, and those are the key fundraisers. One is a luncheon, which is held the Saturday before Father's Day in June, and so that's the major fundraiser that they coordinate in order to fund all of the projects that they do every year. And that information is listed on their website. And then the second event is a gala, which we will be having this month. It's the last Friday of the month, and that is October the 25th. It's in Union, and so that will be the second fundraiser that we will have to just to assist us with providing resources for recently diagnosed individuals and survivors throughout the year. They can find all that information on the website, which is sistersnetwork.org, and also Sisters Network of Essex County has a Facebook page, and that Facebook page is Sisters Network of Essex County, and they can make donations directly on the Facebook page.
Well, Salima, first of all, thank you for being so very open and forthcoming about your family history and about breast cancer. But before we let you go, rumor has it that you could be potentially a Dallas Cowboys fan. Is this true?
Oh, that is definitely not a rumor. And I do want to let you know, just to piggyback on a conversation that occurred before I got on the air, that 2-point conversion was very critical, and that game was about pure luck. So I want you guys, for all the Jets fans who are at the station on the West Coast and even listening, just enjoy that. Just enjoy it, because you guys never know what the next couple games are going to be like.
Well, the better team won on Sunday. That's all that happened.
Oh, okay. No. You know, I think that was your voice. You know that was pure luck. Now, I admit my team didn't show up until the third quarter. I'm like, what the hell? What the heck is going on? You know, they slept through the first and the second quarter. I admit, I'm a diehard fan, but I'm going to be brutally honest. They did not start playing the game until a couple minutes into the third quarter. But it could have turned. They were either way. But I want to congratulate you guys. I do want to congratulate you guys on the win.
Well, thank you. We needed it so bad. We were so desperate. We needed it badly. So, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it, and we'll do our best to help promote the Sisters Network.
Thank you so much, guys, for having me, and also thank you for providing a plateau for us to share information.
Absolutely. Have a great night.
All right, you too. Thanks.
Thank you. All right, Joe, you're back. We've had me and Prime Time went over the game for the first half hour. I talked to Steve. I talked to Shaq, and Shaq made a demand. Shaq was disappointed that you were not with us, and he said since you were not on when he was on, he demands a video. He wants you to put a video out and share some more thoughts, because he was disappointed that he couldn't talk to you.
Well, first off, I want to thank everyone for listening. I also want to, thank Salima for calling in. We're all about supporting the Sisters Network and breast cancer awareness. Again, everyone get involved with everything that the Sisters Network is doing. And again, breast cancer just doesn't affect women. It also affects men as well. All our male listeners, get to the doctor. Get yourself checked. You are not just in the clear because you're a man. It does affect you as well. So everyone, again, get involved with the Sisters Network any way you can. But look, duty calls, everyone knows, I'm a professional. I got to take care of what I got to take care of, I'll be dropping videos. I've been dropping videos. I continue to give my thoughts on the game, but I'm here now. That's what's important. And what's even more important is the fact that Sam Darnold was out there throwing darts. All right? What did I tell y'all? I told y'all about my boy. I told y'all that he was going to deliver in this league. Now, I was a little surprised myself. I was shocked because I thought the mono was going to affect him a little bit more. I thought he'd be a little bit more rusty. He hadn't played since week 1, but he came out there and showed y'all everything that I've been talking about. If you were confused, or if you were on the fence, or if you had any questions about Sam Darnold being a franchise quarterback, I want you to rewatch that Cowboys game. I want you to rewatch that. I want you to rewatch the dimes, the touch on the ball, the throw to Crowder over a defender. I want you to watch him slide out of pressure, because our offensive line played better, but they played better because he was getting the ball out of his hands so quickly. Guys weren't able to get into his face, and when guys were coming free, again, he used his feet to slide out of the way of pressure and get the ball out. Look at the accuracy, the touch, and not just that. not just that, the biggest play of the game, which I personally believe was the biggest play of the game, was the 92-yard bomb to Robbie. Let me tell you what that did. That's a statement play right there. You want to know why that's a statement play? That's letting the rest of the league know. Go ahead and put 8 in the box in front of us. You think it's all about stopping Le'Veon Bell? Okay, no issues. Go ahead and put 8 in the box and don't double Robbie and see what I'm going to do to you. Let me let you know that I can take it right over your dome, please, too. Let me let you know that I can make this throw. Oh, you don't think I have arm strength? Let me show you something, boy. Yeah, that's what that play was all about. So my man Sam, okay, is going out there and showing you what's up, all right? He's showing you what it is to be a Trojan. That's USC business right there. That's what we produce. Winners, all right? Come on, man. What is this about? What is this about? What
you mentioned USC. Did USC play Saturday? Because I know one team beat them for the 3rd year in a row. But we'll talk about that later.
Come on, Tyson. Come on, man. First off,
that's just facts. 3rd year in a row.
We coming off of a big win. You play that garbage. You know what I'm saying? I thought
You're right.
That was
big win. That's right. Notre Dame. Notre Dame with another win.
I thought we buried that. I thought we buried that in Steve's basement.
We buried
I'm putting you in Steve's basement next. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, back to Sam, okay? Because your win was lucky. Let me let you know that right now, all right? And we don't even have a starting QB right now.
So was the Jets win. He didn't get no penalty call in the end zone.
Come on, man. Come on. Hey, look. We'll take it any way we can get it. But the way that Sam played out there was amazing, man. Absolutely amazing.
Talking about Sam, though, but what about Adam Gase's play calling? Led a lot more aggressive than he's been over the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, I was surprised about that as well. That was one of the things that we talked about going into the game. We were all worried about Adam Gase and the way that he had played. And he changed some things up. I liked a lot of his calls. Like you said, it looked a little bit more aggressive. I was surprised that the game plan wasn't just depend on Le'Veon Bell. Get everything to Le'Veon Bell. Screen to Le'Veon Bell. Let's run Le'Veon Bell. Like that, because that's what we've seen these past however many weeks, up until now. So I'll tip my hat to Adam Gase. I'm looking for him to continue this type of stuff, continue this play calling. I need to see more consistency out of him. But I think that, man, I'm telling you, I was really amazed by Sam and the way that he played out there. I mean, that dude is amazing, man. And to be so young. We've got years and years of him, playing for us, years and years of him going out there and making great throws. We just got to make sure. And I know this offseason coming, we're going to talk about this stuff, but I got to say it right now. This offseason it was supposed to be, the last offseason was supposed to be about building around Sam and making sure he was straight. This offseason truly needs to be about building around Sam, pouring all the resources that we can into the offensive line, into wide receivers, whatever. Anything that Sam needs, okay, if he needs a different type of chair in the office, let's do it. If he needs a different type of whatever, let's make sure that we get whatever Sam needs to remain comfortable in there and make throws and throw strikes for us.
So, Joe, how do you handle left tackle on Monday night?
Ooh, man, I don't know. I don't know what you do with that situation. I mean, you could put Adoga over there, maybe, if you're feeling comfortable and confident with him. I didn't think Adoga played terribly. He played pretty well. I don't know. Maybe
put
you could
Brandon Shell over there again?
I don't like Brandon Shell. You know that. You know how I feel about Brandon Shell. I mean, you could do that, but I'm not the biggest fan of him being over there. I know Alex Lewis plays that from time to time as well. I know we brought him in because he does play that guard tackle kind of thing, so you might want to explore that. But, I mean, Shell would be a possibility. He wouldn't be a guy that I would put over there. But, there's a couple of guys we could put over there. But Adoga, I think, would be one of the guys you would probably look to see if you can slide over there if you're comfortable with him.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the phones. We're going to go to Nigel. Nigel, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up? How you doing, gentlemen? How's everything?
Victory Tuesday, man. Victory Tuesday. It's a whole
Victory Tuesday.
New
Well,
day.
at least I hope this Tuesday was better than last Tuesday. I had to go to the burn unit and stuff like that. You beat me up because I defended Gates. Okay, let me just say something. It was a good victory. It was something that we needed. Now, the criticism of Gates, right? The thing is now he's able to execute his plays. Sam Darnold in there allows him to do that. It's like a night and day type of thing. Okay, now, if Sam would have got in there and would have been horrible, hey, listen, let's just barbecue Gase and call it a day. But the thing is that you saw what Gase did. He allowed Sam to be Sam. He took the reins off of him. He allowed him to audible. Also, the playbook opened up. He was able to run different plays and all like that. It was a beautiful thing to watch. But you know who was the real MVP of the game? Greg Williams. He deserves a lot of credit, and he doesn't get as much credit as he's supposed to. He called that.
Was it Greg Williams or Jamal Adams? Because Greg Williams' defense
Jamal Adams, but the thing is, right,
oh,
but the thing is that Greg Williams but the thing is that, no, Jamal Adams, he likes the coaching from Greg Williams, okay? He listens to him, especially that fourth and 2 down there, and he tackled, what's his name, the quarterback of Dallas and all like that. That was a good play, but the thing is that it was Greg Williams that came up with the scheme to make that happen and all like that. And during the week, they practiced that, all the read options and screens and all the crap that they call. But the thing is that Greg Williams called a good game. Now, getting back to Gase.
Yeah.
Can we say now that Gase is a competent...
Hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're going to give Greg Williams. We'll give Greg Williams credit. We'll give Greg Williams credit for being very aggressive and getting after it. They smacked Dak Prescott around. The Dallas Cowboys were without 2 tackles. Late in that fourth quarter, you weren't nervous while this defense was falling apart? They're just getting gouged?
Well, the thing is, listen, if you got chicken, you make chicken soup, okay? The Jets looked a lot better, and even if they would have lost this game,
the same thing that happened in the Bills game.
But are we going to talk about how bad the referees were as well? How the referees
the referees are bad every week. It's the same thing that happened in the Bills game.
Come on.
Yes.
Look.
It's the same thing happened in the Bills game. The same kind of collapse.
Listen.
Well, let me ask you a question. Isn't there supposed to be an owners meeting tomorrow or something like that? Today or tomorrow there was an owners meeting. They were supposed to get together. I think I heard that on the news. So hopefully they can just address that, because it's getting bad for the game. It's just a bad look for everyone. But getting back to Gase, all right, we have a functional offense. Functional. We haven't had that in years. A functional offense that you could just sit there and say, okay, these guys are capable of scoring and all like that. And that's about it. I understand the criticism of Gase, okay? But the thing is now, him and Sam, they're going to be together for years, and they're going to come up with some very, very nasty stuff. And I think that the next couple of years, if Gase and Donald stay together, they are going to be a lethal combination for the NFL. They won't be able to stop them.
Yeah, and listen, I want to thank you for calling in. Look, I need to see more consistency out of Gase. Like, I hear what you're saying, but after the first,
I agree.
4 weeks out of that. And look, I know people are going to use the excuse, and I'm pretty sure they've already called in and used the excuse of, well, he had a third string. No, he did have a backup quarterback in Trevor Siemian, and the offense looked terrible. Luke Falk, yes, the offense looked bad, and he was third string, but he also failed to prepare Luke Falk. And also, when you look at other teams around the league, particularly, you look at the Steelers. The Steelers are playing with a third-string quarterback, and their offense looked competent. Like, they weren't.
Yeah,
they
but
didn't
they got
have
a great
the issues that
line.
we had. Yeah, but the offense looked competent. So you got a third string in there. The guy should be able to run the play. You should be able to adjust your scheme. I'm pretty sure they're not running the exact same stuff that they were running when Ben Roethlisberger was out there. So you have to make an adjustment, particularly if you're an offensive genius. But I want to get your thoughts on this, because you touched on the offensive line for the Steelers, though. But we have a guy that's going to be missing here. What are your thoughts about Osimile being done for the season?
Goodbye. Thank you. Thanks for playing. Goodbye. All right. Okay. Next. No, and I don't mean to be sarcastic. This is the deal, right? This is the NFL. It's the next man up. Every team has a problem, okay? Even the Patriots have issues and problems, okay? So the next guy, he steps up, he comes in there and plays. But the one good thing, you notice how fast Sam got rid of the football? You saw how fast that football was coming out of his hand? That was a beautiful thing, and it didn't put much pressure on the line. So maybe we could disguise that and mask the deficiencies on our offensive line, and Sam could get that football out. And him and Jamison Crowder, they got great chemistry together.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. This offensive line is going to be interesting now, especially with Osemele out, Beachum hurt. I mean, your whole left side can be makeshift. I think you'll probably see more of that, of Sam getting rid of the ball quick, maybe having a running back in the backfield to do some chip blocking and things like that.
Yes.
What is your level? Yes. What is your level of confidence with this team as they move forward? Are you expecting the same aggressive style from this team?
Yes, and I'm going to tell you why. Gase realized, and you know it in that game, that Gase did not take his foot off the gas. Like, you notice that Bowles and Rex Ryan at certain times in games where they was ahead, they take their foot off the gas and they lose. Gase is not going to take his foot off the gas. And also, the most beautiful, perfect thing, that Sam is free. He took the dog collar off of Sam. Okay? Sam is running around in the lot now. He's audible at the line. He's making plays. He's digesting pre-snap reads and all like that. That's beautiful. Bowles wouldn't have let Sam do that. Rex wouldn't let Sam do that. So now we have a functional offense. This is a good thing. If these two guys could stay together, this might be, and I know I'm gonna get flamed for this. This might be Belichick and Brady. I know.
Right. Are we?
Maybe.
Man. What in the living?
Maybe. No, I'm saying,
maybe. Come on, man.
Can I be happy?
Jeez.
Listen, can I be happy? Can I be happy just for one day?
Yeah, but you can be happy.
Listen.
You can't be delirious, man.
But not
happy,
delusional.
but not delusional. You just out of your mind
okay.
now.
All right. Okay. But no. But hold on. But don't laugh. Don't laugh. Okay. Listen. Don't have me go and these guys make the playoffs this year because you see my number. You're just gonna blow.
Now we're talking playoffs.
Get on again.
Playoffs.
Yes. I know playoffs. I know. But listen,
you kidding
guys,
me?
Playoffs. Listen, guys. I love y'all. Have a good evening. All right.
Have a great night, Joe. You know what the thing is? This is the perfect example. The perfect example of winning is the ultimate deodorant. Winning is the ultimate deodorant. Because based on that call, you wouldn't know we were 1-4. You'd have no idea we were 1-4. You would have no idea that we were one of the worst teams in football for 3 weeks. Have no idea about that. Man. We win one game, and now we got Belichick and Brady. We got it all now, dude. We are rolling. This is just
listen. I showed up at the press all of
Joe. But what I was going to say was, it's so how one play can make or break an entire fan base. They stop the 2-point conversion. We're celebrating. Sam is great. Gase is doing good. All this stuff. The Cowboys get that 2-point conversion, and everything changes. This team sucks. They're terrible. Fire everybody.
Well,
man, it's a wild time here. Now we got Belichick on the sidelines. We got Belichick Jr., Joe. Come get some.
Man, listen, I came back at the right time. I'll have whatever he's drinking. You know, because that stuff is good. Whatever he's drinking, I'll have 2 cups of it. Look, I don't know about the Belichick and Brady stuff. I don't know about that. But look, the excitement's there. Listen, you could say that, Tyson. Hey, if they would have got the 2-point conversion, but if what if we would have got some stuff that went our way in the game? You know, what if Le'Veon would have broke that extra tackle and ran it into the end zone? You know, there's a whole lot of what ifs. All we can work with is what actually happened, and what happened was the Jets, led by Sam Darnold, with a phenomenal play of the defense as well, which I didn't really get to talk about as well. Adams was flying around out there. May was flying around out there. I mean, I know you talk about the 2-point conversion, but what if May gets that interception, right there on the goal line that he dropped? Game's over. You know what I mean? So, look, we went out there, we took care of business, and you just got to love it, man. It's just exciting. Now, I don't know. I do think Jeff Sands is a little too high right now. We should be excited. We should be happy, but let's not be delusional. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get to the next one.
All right, we're going to go. I'm sorry, I had to mute myself because I was hysterical laughing. That comment got me. I was like, what? We're going to go to Mike in Jersey City. Mike, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Victory Tuesday, man.
Yep. Absolutely.
About time, isn't it?
Yeah. About time. One question. Because of this victory, how much are you buying into now the landscape of the season has changed? Because if we were to have lost that game and gone down to 0-5, I mean, would both of you then say officially the tank is on? And so, I mean, like, there was obviously already like talks of who you need to cut to save Joe Douglas cap room for next season, and three of those players would be Osamele, Brian Winters, and Avery Williamson, and three of those guys alone would essentially bring the cap back to $50 million. Now, because we did win on Sunday, and we won, other than Gase kind of abandoning the run in the second half, that's why I believe they kind of came back. We looked we looked solid. I mean, it's almost as if, yeah, Sam had mono, but it's like he's been like sneaky practicing like the entire time he's been out. It looks like he didn't miss a step, which was really refreshing to see. I mean, he just came out guns blazing, and that was amazing to see. So obviously, I'm not gonna. I'm a realist, and yes, the Patriots are undefeated. I don't expect them to win on Monday, but in the event that they do, then I really think that the landscape of the season has completely changed. Even at 2-4, still 2 games under 500, and like, wow, that's crazy. But if we do win, I think it's like you got to consider this team the most underrated 2-4 team in like the last decade. Then, right? I mean, I thought I saw better changes on the offensive line last game. Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but I think it was better than when we were losing. And now we get C.J. Mosley back most likely next week, and I think that's going to be the breath of fresh air, like Sam Darnold was the breath of fresh air on Sunday on offense, and he's going to be the breath of fresh air for defense. And so those are essentially our king and queen pieces, referring to chess. And now together, I mean, I think we're gonna come even harder on Monday night, particularly primetime Monday Night Football. The team remembers the shellacking that they got in Foxborough, and it's at home, and so I expect the team to come out blazing. What do you guys think? How do you think this game and perhaps Monday night will change the landscape of the season?
Well, I mean, we'll preview the game in its entirety on Friday night, but I think this is an important game for one thing and one thing only. For me, it's you want to see this team build off this victory. You want to see the same play calling. You want to see the same aggressiveness. You want to see these guys all flying around. You want to see aggressive. And now you're going to have challenges. You mentioned Mosley coming back, which would be a big boost, but now you're without Beachum. So now you're without a left tackle. So you want to see continued adjustments. And you also want to see if Joe Douglas is going to do anything. I mean, he's been kind of quiet other than screwing around with the quarterbacks that are both suck. I mean, can he bring some linemen in that can help? Can he do other things? Like, how does he handle the trade deadline? So for me, it's like I'm not worried about playoffs. I'm not worried about none of this stuff. I want to see Monday night a very competitive game. I want to see this team continue to grow, Sam continue to flourish. But, I mean,
exactly.
That's it. Like, I just want to see him build off that, Joe.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to thank the caller for calling in. That's where I'm at. You know, look, I understand it was a great victory, and like you said, has, anyone's ideas about the season, kind of changed. For me, even if we would have lost that game, it's never really about a tank for me, because a tank doesn't guarantee you does not guarantee you a great player. You still have to go out there and compete and fight, especially when we're talking about the second year of Sam Darnold, because this year was also supposed to be about his development as a QB in this league. So if you're just talking about tanking and giving it all up, then I don't know exactly what you're doing. But you could also assess the roster as you go through the season. A couple of guys that you mentioned, Osamele was probably going to be gone either way. Even if he's healthy, you're probably going to get rid of him at the end of the season. I think Brian Winters is a guy that you definitely start to really look heavily at. The offensive line as a whole, I know Tyson talked about us being without a left tackle. I think you have to look at. I think you also have to look.
He's terrible.
Yeah. Exactly. You're right. Beecham is completely terrible as well. So these are all guys that were on the bubble anyway, just to see how they would impact throughout the season. Another move that we could also make, and you talked about Joe Douglas working that line, is if any left tackles out of there, or Trent Williams is still out there. I know there's rumors that he's, the Browns are looking to make a move for him.
I highly doubt
it.
Say
it again?
I highly doubt we get Trent Williams. What about the kid Lewis?
Yeah.
We got to give him it. We got to throw him in. Or Chuma. I can't. Is that how you pronounce his name? Chuma
Adoga. Chuma Adoga. Yeah, those two guys that I mentioned as well. That you can slide over there.
Take the risk. What do we got to do now?
Exactly. But if you can get a Trent Williams, if you can make that move and steal him away again, because supposedly the Browns are really pushing hard for him. But if you can make a move to do that and give some a draft pick away. And I think we do that as well. I think that there was a lot of things on this team that were being set regardless.
Trent Williams. I mean, they're going to want the one for Williams.
I think a second-round pick will get you Trent Williams. I think a second-round pick will get you Trent Williams, to be absolutely honest with you.
And so what? The second,
and I do
send Leo away? They don't need. Do they need Leo? Do they need an interior defensive lineman?
I mean, you could throw that in if you wanted to, but I mean, it depends on what you're getting on the market for Leo. Because if you could throw him in with a third and get Trent Williams, I would do it.
And I'll be
there'd be no doubt in my mind.
I'm kind of surprised, particularly that we just got Gase just came from Miami. I'm surprised we didn't make a push for Tunsil because everybody knew they were trying to get rid of the guy, and I would have given up more than a second. Tunsil's great, and he's thriving now on wherever I forget where he went, but. Yeah. That would have been a great offensive line.
Yeah, and I hear you. But I want to talk a little bit about the game with you because I'm really excited about the play of our offense in particular. I want to get your thoughts on Crowder, man, and how he was looking out there running routes crisply and catching the football.
Well, I mean, Crowder's what we hoped Enunwa would be. And Enunwa just can't catch a break with his health. And so, I mean, it is a breath of fresh air. It's great. I honestly, for Monday, we have Ty Montgomery, we have Le'Veon Bell. Both are more than able to be catch-passing running backs. Just like the Patriots, I mean, last year or the year before, you saw Stoney Mitchell, James White. They'd use a two running back set. I mean, I'm sure Gase knows this, Josh Daniels' playbook. And it's just like, why don't we do that? Like, we use Ryan Griffin. Clearly, we're not going into tight end packages. Well, we finally saw on Sunday that Griffin is there, not just there for the block. But, I would like to see more from, Ty Montgomery. We are, I mean, don't get me wrong, we should be getting our money's worth with Le'Veon Bell. But I would love to see some two running back sets, put, Ty Montgomery over the middle every other down or something, just as a safe check down. I don't know. I think Gase had a great plan on Sunday night, but I think he could still be a lot more creative, and particularly with the Patriots, who, I mean, it's not just their offense that's balling out; it's their defense. And as Darrelle Revis recently said, he believes Stephen Gilmore is the best cornerback in the league, and I'm not going to argue with that. I believe that as well. So, it's just, I'd like to see a little bit more creativity, but Sunday night was a breath of fresh air. I think obviously the entire NFL and its fans thought that the Cowboys were just going to come into MetLife and literally roll over the Jets, and that did not happen.
Well,
frankly,
Mike, the Jet fans thought that too. So thanks for calling in. I mean, that's the funny thing is, Joe. Listen, people have selective memory all of a sudden. 95% of Jet fans, 95% of Jet fans heading into this game thought the Jets were going to lose. They had concerns about the offensive line, the coaching, the ability of Sam to bounce back, him being rusty, and everything else. To say that you didn't think that, you're just lying to yourselves. So we all thought that, and I went on record and said it. You said it. Everybody said it. Now the Jets win. Everybody's like, "Oh, I never said that. This was expected. This, not." Stop it. Just stop it. We're all excited. Yeah. We're all happy. It was a great performance from Gase, the team, everything else. Most of us didn't expect it, and now they have to build on it. And now it's like Gase showed his offense on Sunday, and now he's going to have to modify because now people have tape on it. There's film on it, and Belichick's had, well, they had a rest week, but a couple days of rest, but they're going to study and look for tendencies and figure things out. And now Gase is going to have to adjust. It's not going to be like, all right, this is going to be easy every week, and he's going to have to modify things. And he talked about getting Montgomery and Powell more involved. But now the challenge is he may have to go 2 running backs, Joe, just to protect Sam, because if your left tackle situation is kind of sketchy, you may get a guy back to just a block, in blitz pickup or whatever else.
Exactly.
So he's going to have some. Exactly. He's going to have some challenges, but and to me, it's like I'll keep saying it. You're only as good as your last performance. The Jets' last performance was against the Cowboys was very good. The week before it was terrible. So now you got to build on it. And Gase is only as good as they keep developing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like I don't understand how people are anointing him already and saying, "Oh, this is great. This is our future." They still have to prove this to us. You got to string together quality performances week in and week out. You can't just be, you can't beat the Cowboys and lose by 20 to the Patriots. You got to string some stuff together now.
Yeah, and I want to thank the last caller for calling in. But like you were saying earlier, it's crazy how people really are having selective memories. I saw people questioning why people were even worried about Gase in the first place, and it was like, hey, have you watched the last 4 games? Has anybody seen what we've been seeing around here? It was just completely ridiculous, some of the things that I saw, because it was like, clearly, either, you guys don't watch the games or you just have decided to just completely dump your memory bank because the team did not look good. And it was massive issues everywhere else outside of just quarterback play. And we were seeing that consistently on a week-to-week basis. And a lot of it was the game plan as well. The calls, the offensive play calling was absolutely horrible during that stretch before Sam came back. But like you said, we need to see consistency going forward before you anoint this guy. We need to see him here for the next 20 years because he beat the Cowboys? No, we need to see this consistently week in and week out. We need to see him put together capable game plans that won't get Sam killed week in and week out before I think people just start anointing Gase like this, Hall of Fame coach here. We need to see more out of him.
I completely agree, man. I completely agree. So we're going to go to, man, we got a lot of people on hold. We'll do our best to get everybody on as fast as possible. We're going to go to Will in Brooklyn. Will, what's up, man?
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not too much, man. We got a Victory
Tuesday.
It's nice, right?
Yeah, man. I can't lie. I don't want to be one of the hypocrites you guys were just talking about. I definitely said the Cowboys are going to blow us out 38-17, but I was pleasantly, wrong. I'm glad to be wrong this time. At the end of the day, I'm a fan.
Dude,
so
you're not alone.
Out that W.
Well, listen. See, the cool thing about this as fans, we honestly look at things and say, listen, based on what we saw early on, the Jets were playing like trash. So it's hard to say, you know what, I think they're going to win when the only thing we saw was them playing poorly. Now the expectations have changed. Like, hey, now we've seen what you can do, so now we're going to expect a lot more out of you. So what were you more surprised by? Were you surprised by the offensive line play or the play calling from Gase?
I was more surprised by the play calling from Gase because although the offensive line played solidly, I was really, really, really impressed with the way that Sam moved in that pocket. Like, there were certain times that Sam would step up, step to the left, and it just seemed like he created a hole for himself to throw the ball. And you would just see a guy wide open. He gave himself that extra second. I'm not taking anything from the line. They played amazing. But the way that Sam moved in that pocket, that was beautiful to see. That was a work of art. And like you said, it's one game. I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl, but the way that guy was moving in that pocket and helping out his offensive line, like, that was great to watch.
Yeah. And Will, I want to thank you for calling in. I'm right there with you. I talked about that earlier in the show. There were times where guys were coming free or even breaking off of their blocks where they had beat our offensive lineman and Sam would slide up to avoid the guy and be able to throw a dart. I mean, it was really, he was just playing absolutely out of his mind. And I think, again, just his presence back there, his poise, he avoided a lot of things, was able to make a lot of throws, keep the chains moving, and even added, some scores as well. So Sam's looking good, and I'm really, really, really happy with him and his play. But I want to get your thoughts about this. Another guy that was making plays that we were kind of down on as well was Thomas. Demaryius Thomas comes in. We see him catching some screens, doing some things. He caught a ball coming over the middle. Do you think that he can fill the void that was left by the injury of Quincy Enunwa?
I think he can. Quincy's just more. I think Quincy's more athletic. Obviously, he's younger, he's faster. But I feel like Demaryius Thomas is like that savvy veteran. Like he might not have that speed he used to have, but he still got that size. He still has those little, he still knows how to get open. He still might know how to bump you off him a little bit. He can use his body. You know what I mean? So he might not go down there and get a 60, 70-yard touchdown, but I feel like he's a good short option for Sam, which pretty much what Quincy was last year. There was times Quincy had 11 catches for 50 yards, but he was just a good check down kind of target like. But he also had a couple big plays, a couple big screens, and I think he'll be able to help fill that void. We have Herndon coming back as well, even though I know he's not a receiver, but any more weapons for Sam just helps the offense as a total. So,
yeah.
How much impact do you think C.J. Mosley would have if he came back on Monday?
Oh man, this is gonna be crazy. If he comes back, that's gonna be. I feel like it'll be almost like a brand new defense, because you could just see it. Even that first game in Buffalo when he went out. Buffalo was just doing whatever they wanted. They were really, honestly, Devin Singletary was just running the ball. He was getting 12 yards here, 10 yards here. Like, they were just doing whatever they wanted. When C.J. Mosley was in the game, you could just see in that first half the difference he made. He had a fumble that he returned for a touchdown. He was in there just making plays. Like, I feel like when he comes in there, it's going to be a lot harder to break, Anytime that you have that guy in the lineup that you can add him.
No, good. Keep going.
What were you saying, Tyson? No, I was just saying, anytime you can have a guy like that and you could just add him, it's just going to make your defense better.
No. Yeah, and the one thing that I've been really impressed by is Brian Poole, man. He is playing super, super physical. Like, he's almost a linebacker out there. I mean, he's just smacking guys around. Like, how much of an impact do you think he can have, and would you consider maybe trying to re-sign him, but get him another year, like extended or something?
I mean, I would definitely let him play out the season, because we've had guys like Claiborne who come in hot, and then, at the end of the season, you're just begging to get him out of here. So at the end of the year, I feel like if his play continues at the level where it's at now, then yeah, we sign him. It's not like we have any other good corners. We're getting rid of Tremaine. Roberts, I doubt he'll be back. So he's a good, nickel corner, somebody you could depend on. Like you said, he's physical. That's something that we need, especially against a guy like Tom Brady. I feel like, hopefully he'll be able to jam some of the receivers at the line. Hopefully he'll go out there and he'll make a difference.
Yeah. Can you also speak on the play of Marcus May? This is a dude we're seeing fly around. He made an excellent one-on-one tackle of Ezekiel Elliott, man, in that game, and I was really impressed by what he was doing out there as well. What are your thoughts?
I think Marcus May is playing great. I'm not going to lie, he's just killing me with the drop picks. Week 1 in Buffalo, he had one in the end zone where if he would have caught it, he was probably going to the house. This one, if he would have caught this was like literally a game sealer, even though we ended up pulling out the win. But if he makes that pick on the goal line, there's no need for a fourth down. There's no need for two-point conversion, none of that, But at the end of the day, the guy's making plays. He's definitely a solid tackler. He's getting his hands on the ball, which I'd rather him get his hands on the ball and deflect it than the other guy catch it any day. So, he's just out there. He's being active. Me and you are going to always have the Jamal Adams versus Marcus May war to the end of our lives. But Marcus May is playing great. Adams, you can see he's out there. He's being physical, always making plays. But one guy I really want to talk about who really showed up this game, I feel like, Quinnen Williams. A lot of people were killing Quinnen Williams. Yep. Oh, he's a bust. He's this, he's that. Why did we pick him? Listen, that fourth down play that we made that stop, you might see Jamal come in and lay that wood at the end, but Quinnen was the first guy there. He wrapped him up. He held him up. Jamal just came and sealed the deal. So I'm really impressed with Quinnen Williams. I'm really impressed with, just like kind of the little things he does. He's just been getting a lot of pressure, really making people uncomfortable. And even on a play like that, on a fourth down, for him to come in and make a big stop like that, I feel like it's great. Hopefully it builds his confidence, and hopefully going forward he could just produce more, and, you see more of that.
The one thing about Quinnen Williams is, people talking about him being a bust is kind of weird, where it's like, he's been injured, he's just starting off, he's a rookie, and he's already contributing. But the really interesting thing is that you have guys like Fotokasi and Phillips and all these other guys that are like unsung guys that are contributing big time. I mean, they're actually probably doing more than some of these highly paid guys.
Yeah, they are. I like a lot of the depth we have on our defense. Another guy too, believe it or not, Blake Cashman. I like the way that he's played the last couple of years, starting the season. He's been good in pass coverage. He's another guy. He's physical. A lot of people say coming out that, Cashman might be a this, but you just see him just sprinting to the ball anytime there's a play and you see him on the field, just pay attention to him. You just literally see him he's like he makes a beeline. Like, that's his business, just to get there and just do something, take a blocker out, make a tackle, just something. Like, I just like the motor he has. He's been really good. Like, I like the way he plays.
But, based on a conversation we just had, we just talked about all these guys on a defensive line contributing. Doesn't that make Leonard Williams expendable at the trade deadline? Like, if you get a decent offer at the trade deadline, Joe Douglas almost has to consider it based on our depth and the fact we're not going to re-sign him next year.
I would trade. You know what I would trade Quinn? Leonard Williams for? I would trade him for a good starting lineman, because that's really what we need. We need something solid on the O-line. I feel like we have good depth at running back. We have a pretty decent receiver room. We got Sam, our tight end group. I like our tight end group. So if we could do something to solidify either corner or offensive line, preferably offensive line. So we can get an O-lineman and we can flip Leonard Williams, I'm all for it. But as far as for like a draft pick, what are we really going to get, like a fourth or a fifth? I don't want to give him up for that. I'd rather get a lineman or, I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully it's tough. You can't. Yeah. Hopefully they can get something for him. I wouldn't be opposed to it, especially now where you see these other guys contributing. They re-signed McClendon, so I think that the writing's on the wall. It's just a matter of trying to get good value for him. So, Will, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
No problem. One last thing, if I could leave you guys with, if you don't mind. Everybody always talks up Leonard Williams, and I love the guy. They said he gets double teamed. What's he been in the league? This is his fifth year, correct?
What's that?
I believe this is his fifth year. I said, is this Leonard Williams' fifth year in the league right now?
Yep.
How many sacks does he have in his career? How many sacks does he have in his career? For all the impact and dynamic and all the little things that he does, what do guys get paid to do? Hit the quarterback. How many sacks does he have in his career? Over 5 years. Like 20 maybe? 18, something like that?
He had a big rookie year, so I got to look at it, but it's not nothing near worth warranting $14 million a year.
I don't think he's ever topped 7 sacks in a year. I think his rookie year he had 7 sacks.
He had 6 and a half, yeah,
something like that, But all right, guys, appreciate your time, man. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys.
You too, man. Thank you. All right, Joe, we got very busy phones here. We're going to go to Ryan in Brooklyn. Ryan, what's up, man?
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Victory Tuesday, man. Sam played well. We got Crowder and Robbie and everybody flying around, so it's finally a happy show. It's been rare these days.
I know I'm pumped up. I called in Friday. I said we'd lose 26-19, so, I'm gladly take the L on that one. I did think it was going to be a close game, but, I'm glad I was wrong. And it's funny, what a good quarterback can do. Suddenly the Jets go from 32nd ranked offense to, an offense that looked, pretty good. I mean, I was very happy.
Yeah. Yeah, and I want to thank you for calling in. And I know you talked about already, Sam, the impact that he had, but can you talk about the way that he was evading pressure in the pocket and how poised he looked in there?
That's one of the things that, you have to love about Sam going forward. This is an offensive line that just last week gave up 10 sacks, and, a lot of that has to do with, Luke Falk. I mean, don't get me wrong, the offensive line is not good. It's still not good. But someone like Sam who can throw from weird angles, throw off his back foot, even a sudden juke, and then he's throwing it to Crowder down the field. It's stuff like that is, why we're so excited going forward with Sam. Because, the offensive line on Sunday only gave up 2 sacks. And even one of them was actually just Shell. He just didn't know the play when he came in to take over for Beecham.
Yeah.
So, the whole team just looked far better.
Yeah, and what's crazy is how you brought up he never sets his feet. I saw some people out there, I don't necessarily know if they were fans or not, but there were people saying, yeah, he's solid, but he doesn't set his feet. He's never going to be good because he doesn't set his feet. Listen, first off, Sam is good, so shut up. Second off, dude, has anyone watching this kid since college? That's a big time trait of Sam. He doesn't always have to have his feet in the right place to be able to get the ball to where it needs to go. He has that ability. It's a special type of ability that he has. His feet could be pointed the opposite way. He could get the ball wherever it needs to go, accurately and on time, on a rope. So for all of you saying that you're so worried about his mechanics and where his feet are, don't worry about it. Just watch the ball get there. This kid does what he needs to do with his arm, point blank, period. But what are your thoughts about Le'Veon Bell and the impact that he had, and were you surprised that the game plan wasn't so dependent on him as it has been in the past?
To be honest, I'm kind of glad it wasn't. I love Le'Veon Bell, but I'm glad that they kind of, I think he had 14 or 15 touches in total. Obviously when Darnold wasn't there, we just kind of, abused him, ran him into the ground. But, it helped. I mean, we spread the ball around. I think 7 or 8 different receivers caught the ball. This was Darnold's game. You know, there was a lot of play action, and you know, I'm glad it was spread out because you know that's what you have to do. You can't just give it a bell every single play. It's not going to work.
What are your thoughts on the Jets' defense? Is there anything that you would change up as the season plays out?
Well, I mean, I thought the defense played remarkably well. I mean, we lost Neville Hewitt early in the second quarter. I know he came back, but for the most part, you know, Albert McLennan was in there. If you told someone that in August, that's like our fifth string linebacker. You know, with Avery going down for the year, you know, Mosley being gone since week 1. So the Jets were very, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I know Dallas had some injuries too. Obviously, we got lucky that Cooper, you know, went out hurt. But for the most part, you know, the Jets were also down a lot of players that I'm sure Cowboys don't want to hear. I thought guys like Foley, Fadakowski, Kyle Phillips, you know, guys that you don't expect, they played very well. I mean, Quinnen Williams had his best game so far, and it's encouraging because this is still the Dallas, you know, offensive line. They still have Zach Martin, they still have Travis Frederick. So to see our guys, you know, the defensive line especially, you know, play like that, it's definitely encouraging. And like you mentioned before, it does. I think Leonard Williams is gone in the offseason anyway. So if the Jets can I think they can get a 3rd-round pick, you know, for him. So I think at this point we're gonna have to move on from him.
What is your biggest concern as this team moves forward? Is it the left tackle position, or what are you most worried about?
Yeah, it definitely has to be the offensive line still. I mean, I'm glad Alex Lewis has, you know, he's looked pretty good. But I mean, we don't know how long Beacham's gonna be out for. You know, I think they said week to week. But obviously, you know, Gay said the same thing about Mosley, and Mosley's still not, you know, it's week 6 now, and he's still not back. So you have to be concerned. Shell, you know, he wasn't good at right tackle. He's not going to be good at left tackle. So definitely concerned about that. You also have to be concerned about our corners. I mean, it's the corners, you know, Tremaine Johnson. I hope Nate Harrison comes back this week. I would love for him to play and start against the Patriots. It's just, you know, Tremaine Johnson's not going to be able to, you know, with Tom Brady targeting him, you know, if he's standing off 10 yards like he usually does, Brady's just going to pick him apart.
Excellent call, man. We definitely appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Have a good one.
You too. All right, Joe, very, very busy phone lines here. Jet fans are obviously excited, which is cool, especially after some miserable start to the season. So now we'll go to our good friend Tyrone. Victory Tuesday, man.
Yo. Hey, what's going on, fellas? And first of all, I want to say, I think Friday I called, I don't want to sound waffle, but I called 24-17 if I'm not correct. But I want to say something real quick that everybody's jumping on tonight. I'm not going to just say that it was Gay's game plan. I'm going to say it was Sam Darnold. And I think that he's not getting the credit. Yeah. I know everyone's giving him credit, but you have to look at what he did. That offensive line has been horrible. It's been a nightmare. And what he's been doing is he got the ball out in 3 seconds.
Yeah, I look, I hear you, and that's exactly what I said earlier as well.
Seconds,
the fact
man.
that
I
he's
just
getting
think,
the ball. Go ahead.
Oh, you know, I just said, man, if you watch him holding safeties and throwing the other way, I just think that it was really him. I think Gaze gave him a lot of opportunities, and I think that interception, what happened was him and Crowder had an option route. He either break inside or break out. I think Sam thought he was going to break out, and that was the interception. Mm-hmm. But I think Sam played amazing, and that's what made the offense click so much. The one thing I didn't like is I didn't like that they didn't run the ball a little bit more with Le'Veon. I just think that could have really, got the game over a little faster. But I think other than that, man, I think Gates might have called a good game, but Sam made a lot of adjustments at the line. Sam played amazing, man. And if he can play similar to that for the rest of the season, man, we have a bright future with him. Now, as for the defense, man, I'm going to say this right here. I'm not as hyped as everyone is about the defense. I'm being honest, and I know you guys watch the game as much as I do and love this team as much as I do. Tremaine Johnson has to go. I hope Harrison comes back. The last caller hit it on the head. He has to come back. Now, what scares me about Mosley coming back is this. Do you keep Neville Hewitt in, or do you bring Blake Cashman in? Because I would love to see Cashman on the running backs of the Patriots or anybody else. He covers better. But, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Neville just is a bigger force. But the defensive line played great for us. But, like I said, man, I think Tremaine Johnson is probably the weakest link on that defense right now. And that's with Mosley being out. You know, so I think Harrison coming back would be an amazing upgrade of what we have right now. But, you know what I'm saying, we got the victory. I'm happy. It's just, you know, we got things to work on, but it looks good.
Yeah, and look, first off, Tyrone, I want to thank you for calling in. And, you know, I know we talked about it. We talked about Sam. We talked about the defense player. But one thing that happened in that game that really kind of went our way as well is Amari Cooper went down after having one catch. I think if Amari Cooper plays, he gets busy. You heard? He gets busy. He would have absolutely, he would have got busy, Tremaine. Point blank period. And we all know that. And him not playing, you know, really, really worked in our favor because there would have been a lot of bombs that Tremaine wouldn't have been able to handle. And there would have been a lot of touchdowns from Cooper that day. So,
Gallup dropped like 4 passes. Like 4 big plays where he was wide open, hit him in the hand. And that's what I think everybody has to, you know, like, look, man, I'm all excited about this, man, but I really look at the team from the whole aspect of it. Like I said, man, we know we're deficient in talent in certain areas. But I just think that on the offensive side, with Sam being in there, we have a chance. And I think our defense is really, really good. But having Tremaine in there is such a weakness because, like everyone says, he plays 10 yards off. So you got to basically pitch and catch. There's no way he can run with Cooper. He couldn't run with Austin. He couldn't run with anybody. So, I mean, you know, I hope Harrison comes back. You know, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Mosley coming back. And like I said, man, you know, it's going to be amazing to see how this team really perform. Because if we had a healthy Sam with no mono, we would have beat Buffalo. We would have beat Cleveland. We would have beat Philly. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about it. We beat Dallas. So we'd be 4-1 right now. Be a whole different outcome to me if it worked out that way. Because the defense plays decent. You know what I'm saying? But the Patriot week coming up, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be a hard fix. Tyson, what you think, baby?
Listen, hold on a second, Tyrone. Look, I hear you. You're fired up, but I want to ask you this question, man. I want to ask you this question. You talked about Tremaine Johnson and stuff, but I think a guy that is not getting a lot of credit is Greg Williams, man. What were your thoughts about his game plan and everything that he set up, just his play call defensively and how he was able to keep pressure on Dak?
Hey, I'm going to say one thing before I get to that, Joe. I think Cleveland's probably the dumbest team in the league because you had a guy who motivated your winless team to win, and you get rid of the guy. That's just stupid as hell. I think Greg Williams he just, like I said, bro, he understands this team, he understands his players, and he puts them in the best position to win. The only problem I have with Greg Williams is this Tremaine Johnson situation. I mean, because I think that, you know what I'm saying, a lot of times you might got to switch up the zone, and they do that. You just got to give him help, man. He's horrible out there, but his game plan was genius. And even when they was moving the ball on us, man, you know, that play to Jamal, man, I don't think people understand how important of a play that was. That's the play you're holding on to for a while. I mean, and Jamal came in there like a bat of hell, bro. It was no room. And, you know, another caller said this right here. The way Marcus May is playing and the way Jamal is playing and Cashman and Neville and all of these guys is because they're getting coached right. Greg Williams comes up with a great game plan every week. You know, and this was the first time that we didn't come out sluggish. You know, it seems like the last few weeks we'll come up and we'll give up a big touchdown or a big play and then we settle down. This game, we didn't do that. I think because the offense came out and they said, oh, shit, Sam's back. We're good. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like I said, bro, I think he did a wonderful job, man. I really did. His defensive coordinator, man, he's probably one of the best in the business, man. And then you see why he's so good and why he's so well respected.
How nervous were you during the field goal?
Oh, hey, listen. Hey, listen, man. You know what? Hey, when he hit the extra point, Tyson, now mind you, I was in enemy territory. I was a Cowboys country. Me, my son, and my nephew were the only Jet fans in there. It's about 50 Cowboy fans, and I'm talking smack. So, like, bro, I was kind of good, man. Like, my man Flickin', man, he been doing his thing, bro. Like, hey, listen. When I started, when he made the extra point and made the other field goal, I was good. Now, when your man hit the 62-yarder, I was like, oh, stop playing, bro. So when he missed the 43, I was like, yo, hey, bro. But my man was like, yo, he said, bro, if it's dead on, he can hit it. If it's any kind of angle, he can't do it. And he was dead on, bro, because he sure missed it. But that game shouldn't have got that close, though. You feel me? But like I said, man, I'm excited, bro. Like, you know, we got some ways to go, but great victory, man. Felt good to win. I could watch sports on it.
It's nice. You can actually like walk around and like talk football and not be embarrassed. Like you have some pride again. It's a nice feeling, man.
It hurts your feelings to lose, bro. Like for me, I can't watch sports center because it's always Jet bashing. Then I'm listening to everybody talk about, oh man, the Jets, you know, whoop whoop whoop. The Cowboys are injured. I'm like, bro, how can anybody talk about injuries and we don't say nothing? Have you seen my team? I mean, we've been depleted for weeks. Our number one quarterback off the field, our defensive quarterback has been out. Our quarterback got mono. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. We got Luke Falk playing quarterback, man. I don't want to hear about the Cowboys where they got I could care less. Their quarterback ain't gone. Their defense is still great. Nah, man. We beat a good team. And like I said, man, we're a good team. And I think what Gaze did, man, is he's letting Sam do his thing. I don't think people realize how much Sam matured. Like, watching that game, Sam was like a veteran out there. Yo, listen, just watch him with the looking off of safety, bro, holding him in spots, and then go, man, bro, it's crazy. Yep. Like it was watching him do that, man. Just makes you feel like, yo, Sam's gonna be all right. I just think the way he comes in, his demeanor, his leadership, and with Jamal, Marcus May, and one more thing about the Leo. Listen, man, you can't trade Leo for a 4th or 5th round pick. That's retarded. I'm just being real with you, man. That's just really stupid. Why not let him, if he wants to leave, if we don't re-sign him, let him leave, get a 3rd-round comp for him, and keep it moving. Why would you take less for that? That doesn't make any sense. You feel me? Because he already counts against the cap anyway. There's no point of doing that. I don't want to give him away for a 5th-round pick. You know what I'm saying? That makes no sense.
Tyrone's all fired up, man. Tyrone, good to hear you happy and excited again. You're back drinking the Kool-Aid. You're back on the Gase bandwagon. We appreciate it, man. It's so great to hear.
Hey, man, looking forward to Friday, man. Like I said, man, Jets up. I love you guys, man. I love the videos y'all putting out. Great calls tonight. And like I said, man, let's not get overly excited right now. It feels good to get a victory. But we got some ways to go, man. But we got a real quarterback. And I hope everybody understands what Sam does. Jets, let's go!
Have a great night, man. Joe, I'm not going to lie to you, man. It is so nice to talk about positives because the other stuff just gets exhausting, man. It's just too much. Like, I can't, like, I was at my breaking point. Like, if they would have blew that game on Sunday, that would have been my breaking point. I would have been like, Joe, take over the show for 3 weeks. I'm going on hiatus. I'm going to take a break. Like, you know how, like, other podcasts, how other podcasts, like, they go on breaks for, like, a month at a time? I would finally do that. I'm like, you know what? I'm taking a month off, man. I'm just gonna say, it's like, it's just. That's just what I would do.
I'll tell you. Okay, look, at T-Rouse21, I'm not taking no other shots at no other people. That's what we need. We need some gunshot sound bites because you love to absolutely fire away at other shows. I don't know who you're talking about. I'm not into that. At T-Rouse21, send your questions, send your issues his way. That has nothing to do with me. But look, positivity is so great. It feels so good to sit back and talk about good things that are going on with your football team, especially when you're talking about your franchise quarterback going out there and winning games. That's just, man, you just love it. You just love it, man. We're so excited at this point, and we're just happy with what we've done for this week.
All right, we're going to go to, we got a lot of people, man. Damn. We're going to go to Ronaldo in New York. Ronaldo, what's up, man?
Hey, yo, it's been a minute, boys. It's been a minute.
Welcome back.
Just like us getting a W. It's been a minute. Long time, man.
So what are your thoughts, man? What impressed you more? Was it Sam? Was it the play calling, the offensive line? What surprised you the most?
I mean, the fact that we didn't give up 10 sacks. I mean, God bless.
I agree.
Sam Darnold in the pocket, bro. I mean, he makes our offensive line just look better than it really is. Bro, he made a move where he went to the left, then stepped back, went to the right, set his feet, and threw the ball. I was like, this guy's a magician. I mean, that's not even real. You know what I mean? Like, I was so excited. I thought we were going to win the game. I'm telling you right now, I knew we were going to win the game. You know, I'm surprised with all these callers talking about, I thought we were going to get clapped, especially you talking about we're going to lose like 30-14 or some foolishness like that. You must forget we have a franchise quarterback named Sam Darnold, who's going to be a top 10, top 5 quarterback in the world one day.
Yeah, and look, I want to thank you for calling in, but before the game, look, I get it. You know, you're hyped right now, but let me tell you, our offensive line looked terrible, and Sam was coming back from mono. We didn't exactly know what we were going to get out of Sam. We didn't. But we had seen this offense already, particularly this offensive line, and they had just given up 10 sacks off a 2 weeks preparation for an Eagles team that came in with 3 sacks on the season. So I don't know if you want to question fans for what they were thinking before, because they were going off of what they saw. But I tell you what, you know, we were pleasantly wrong. You know, I've never been so excited to be wrong in my life, because this team went out there and Sam worked his magic. I want to get your thoughts on the big play, though, the 92-yard bomb to Robbie, man. How did you feel watching that get completed?
I mean, just hopefully we're going to see many more of those. I mean, if he can just hit his deep shots, that's the only question mark with Sam Darnold. If can he hit his big plays when they're there, and he hit them yesterday, on Sunday. He hit them. That's all Robbie Evers has asked for. Just give me the ball. Throw me the ball. I mean, this guy's numbers are horrific, and he's been open every single week. I mean, he had OBJ syndrome or something. Just give me the ball.
What are your thoughts on the Jets' running game now, especially with you have a new left tackle, most likely. You have Alex Lewis played good at guard, but are you worried about teams just stacking the box and coming after the Jets now with this whole revamped line again?
Honestly, I'm not worried because we have Sam Darnold back there. I mean, people are upset that we didn't run the ball against Dallas, but when we did run the ball, we're getting 2 yards. That's we're not good enough to just be getting 2 yards on runs. I'm sorry. We had to throw the ball. It was either throw the ball or 3 and out. And Gase was not about to just have us looking stupid out there. We were ranked the worst offense in the NFL. And we all know, everybody on this podcast, every Jets fan knows we're not the worst offense in the NFL. So I just feel like running game against Dallas' front 7 and their linebackers with that speed, I mean, it was insane. It would be stupid. That offensive line, give me a break.
Yeah. I want to get your thoughts on the defensive line getting pressure on Dak all game, really smacking him around.
Leonard Williams heard the noise. He knew he was going to get traded out of town. I've never seen a man finally show up. Yo, it was like he got scared or something. He was like, nah, I'm going to let it all out. I'm going to let all my frustration out. Because the dude's a bum, and all of a sudden he wants to be a good player. That's all we've asked for, Leonard Williams. Get to the quarterback.
Well, I mean, he's also without 2 tackles, though, too. I mean, we got to keep in mind that what they were, I mean, Leonard Williams played well, but he was also assisted there by not having their 2 tackles.
And we didn't have Sam Darnold for 4 weeks. Nobody cared about that. The NFL was ready to bash us and kill us. No excuses. He finally just got the job done. I mean, he's still going to get traded because he's still a bum. He's not going to, try to, I don't know what's the word, but he's still trash. So he's still going to get traded. So I'm so happy. 3rd-round pick, thank you very much.
So what do you think are the biggest takeaways from this game as the Jets get ready to go on to the Patriots? Is it just the growth of Sam Darnold, how much more explosive this offense could be with Chris Herndon? What are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about this football team. I'm excited about the run we're about to go on. I'm excited about this game coming on Monday night, which I think we're going to win. Because it's not just belief, it's not just hope. I mean, we're just a good football team. Our defense has been stout, has been playing well enough to win games or help us keep games. Now, you guys know, Sam Darnold is this dude is amazing at football. He can throw the ball anywhere on the field. I don't think he's going to be a turnover machine like he was last year. I feel like he fixed that. He made one mistake, okay. Josh Allen makes that 4 or 5 times a game. So I'm happy with where we are, and I think we're going to beat the New England Patriots on Monday Night Football. Book it.
Whoa.
Whoa.
People were saying that against Dallas. People were saying that Dallas. And I was right. So. Go Jets, baby.
Have a good night. Joe, what a difference a week makes, man. Holy cow. We went from we want everybody fired to this team is a train wreck to now we're beating the Patriots and bring on everybody else and we're going to the playoffs. Pretty crazy, right?
And I want to thank him for calling in. Look, taking it game by game. I just think everyone is so high right now. They're so, just high on the optimism, and they're loving Sam going out there and playing the way that he's played. How long have we been looking for a franchise quarterback to legitimize our offense? How long have we been looking for an offense? I mean, it's been quite some time, So watching a young guy swing the football around like that, watching him go out there and play against a team that, we counted the team out. Everybody pretty much said the Cowboys were going to beat us really badly, and for us to go out there and put up points and be able to, take the victory away, Jets fans are just high right now. So let's not take that away. I don't know about this game. We'll cover that coming up on Friday, but the excitement is spilling over.
We're going to go to James. James, what's up, man?
Guys, excuse me. How you doing? Thanks for having me on. I just want to applaud you guys for bringing on really good awareness and awesome things on your show. It's really awesome. You guys use your cachet and your platform to really generate awareness. That's awesome. Joe, hats off to you being a firefighter in LA. I know you guys are always going through a lot of craziness out there.
Oh, man.
But getting back,
Thank you.
I know all you guys, LA County, all of you guys, New York Fire Department, everyone. I know you guys have a lot of things you guys have to deal with. What I really wanted to focus on tonight is just ending that home game drought. Every time the Jets have been out at home, it's been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. It was incredible, the electricity, you know what I mean? Just getting those big plays from Sam Darnold and Robbie Anderson. That was incredible. Seeing what the defense was able to do and just seeing this team with some fight and some dog in them, because they could have, rolled over and whatever at the Dallas Cowboys, but let's give the Jets a little bit of credit in the sense that, that's still a defense over there, DeMarcus Lawrence and the two linebackers they have, and just to see how prepared Sam Darnold was. A few of those throws, those third and long, how prepared he was. He was really able to feel what Dallas was doing and avoid, DeMarcus Lawrence and make a huge play. Just on a flipping the coin a little bit, I'm really not happy with Ryan Khalil in this game. I don't know if you guys seen the big pass play Darnold got, and it got negated by Khalil's penalty. I didn't like that. I was pulling my hair out on that one. Didn't like that. And it's going to be interesting to see how they patch that O-line going forward. But guys, another guy on this team who's balling right now, and that's Locke Edwards, the punter. Oh my goodness. To see where our punting game has gone to where we are right now is quite a turnaround. From the Quigley days and the nonsense we have to deal with to what, Locke Edwards is bringing, he's going to give you a little bit of a chance. And, some things to come together. I'm not exonerating Adam Gase for anything. You know what? We had one good game. I need to see it again, and we need to see what the potential of this team is going against a bona fide Super Bowl contender, the Patriots. So.
Yeah, and listen, and I want to thank you for calling in. I also want to thank you for, listening to our breast cancer awareness things that we do here. And, it's just always amazing. We love doing that. We love doing whatever we can to help and touch our community. So that's what it's all about. So, again, thank you. But, look, listen, like you said, the offensive line could use, a little bit of work. But Sam was able to still go out there and make plays. And the impact of Sam Darnold was so big because he was able to move and get away from that pressure, avoid those things. He checked out of a lot of plays and checked into a lot of plays that worked out, against the defenses and the things that you saw out there. He took a lot of what the defense was giving him, and they were able to go out there and really move the football doing that. But going forward, we got some injuries up front as well that could really hurt us, and I want to get your thoughts on this. You look at this left tackle position with Beachum, possibly being out. How would you solve that, and who would you put there? Are you putting Madoga over there? Are you putting Shell over there? What are you doing with it?
You know what? Shell being out there is interesting, right? But if I'm picking, between Madoga and Shell, it's definitely Madoga. I think he has some athletic ability. And, yeah, so I'm going to pick Udoka a little bit over Shell, but Shell was a little bit interesting. He was a big body out there. I'm curious to see what that could do for our run game. But at this point, it's got to be, musical chair as a left tackle. We kind of have to sign guys, figure out who can play that position. Or like you guys keep mentioning, Trent Edwards. I mean, if you're Joe Douglas, you need
Trent
to
Edwards,
your franchise quarterback. Not Trent Edwards. The Washington left tackle. Oh, God, not Trent Edwards. Trent Williams. Trent Williams. If you're Joe Douglas, you have to do whatever, any means necessary to acquire, an asset for your quarterback. I mean, Sam's showing it. He's showing us what we've all thought about him, but you have to do your part, too, and protect him. Whatever we can do to elevate his play on the offensive line, we got a few days to do that, and we need to do it. Whatever it takes, and anything outside of a first-round pick, I say, what the hell? We've seen, Philadelphia when they plucked Jason Peters from Buffalo. He was able to step in there and be, just a lightning rod for that offensive line. I think we could do something similar. It's something we have to do. And, this whole season's really going to be about the evaluation of Sam Darnold. And I don't want to put anything on wins or losses. The key is seeing what we can do for Sam to see if he is going to be our guy. And you just move forward from there. And that's what we have to do. And upgrading that O-line is going to be a big thing. Seeing if that defense can play more conservatively, more consistently, that's going to be a huge key for us. And we'll see. I like what I'm seeing from the two linebackers as well. I think we're going to see a lot of them. C.J. Mosley's injury has me worried. I don't think the Jets are really being as upfront as they should be about his groin injury. And groins can be really tricky. Sometimes you can come back from them fairly quickly, and other times, look at LeBron James last year, right? He had a groin, and nobody really expected him to be out for the amount of time he was. So that does have me concerned, but it's going to be another opportunity for us to show, who we are and what this team is, identifying the core of our team, and, we'll go out there and see what happens. But what did you guys think about just Le'Veon Bell in general? Do you think he looked pretty comfortable, that he was ready to go? What did you guys think about him?
I think Le'Veon Bell's he's been the superstar that he's always been. He's been explosive. He's been shifty, good pass catcher, good in blitz pickup. He's doing everything. I'm glad that they're using Montgomery and Powell a little bit, and they're not going to wear out Le'Veon Bell by week 8 or week 9. So I think he's great, man. I think he'll only get better now, especially with Sam, with play action pass, stuff like that. Le'Veon Bell will be that much more explosive, because now you can do draw plays. You can do all kinds of stuff. So I think Le'Veon's going to be fine, man. I think it's this offense, when you bring Herndon back and you get, Sam a couple more weeks where he's even more comfortable, where they can open a playbook, dude, I think the sky's the limit, man. I think they can really do well. The biggest problem is going to be the offensive line, and that's going to be the biggest problem, because you talked about platooning your left tackle, which is a scary idea. That's Sam's blind side, dude. That's just the only thing you got to worry about now.
Absolutely, and I wouldn't risk it. If you can find someone on another team, whatever, give up some draft capital to solidify that area, that seems like it'd be a no-brainer. And I know, there's a lot of teams vying for our Washington left tackle, but it doesn't really matter. You need to do what you need to do to, protect your guy. And there's other guys out there, too. There's different guys in different teams. So whatever we have to do, like you said, platooning different guys and just waiting for Sam to get teed off on is not ideal, especially going against the defense that we're going to be playing next week. But, what did you think about Shell and his evaluation in that game? I thought he looked decent at times, but, I still feel a little nervous with him and Udoka. I wish we had some clarity there. But, it makes
you can hide certain things. You can hide certain things, but now you're facing a defense like the Patriots, where they have, great pass rushers, very innovative schemes, where an inexperienced left tackle is just going to get taken advantage of. Joe, what do you think? That's got to be the biggest concern.
Exactly, and that's exactly what I was going to say. You're going, and we'll cover the game Friday, but you're going up against a team that, like you said, has a great scheme, has great pass rushers, and extremely well coached. So it's not like you can't fool that Patriots coaching staff. Oh, they know about you, my friend. They know everything that you've done, everything. They're watching all your tape from the games. They probably know what you ate before what you ate for breakfast before you played the game. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to figure out what we're going to do there, but they're definitely going to be ready for whatever left tackle we put out there.
Absolutely. I mean, it should be entertaining. It is a home game. I want that one. I know it's New England. Of course, I'd love to have that one, so we'll just have to see how it goes. And, it's good to see the optimism back with the Jet fans, too. I live out here in the West. I had to rub it into some Cowboys faces. It was good. And, it just feels good to win and get that energy back. And like I said, we'll just, keep evaluating, see where we are. But, this is what we expected, right? Sam Darnold coming in and just his ability to lead a team and make those plays and just, just the way he can do things the only way
James,
he can.
Yeah, but James, hold on. Well, first of all, thank you for calling it. I don't think this is safe, Joe, safe to say this is what we expected. I think if we were both being honest, we were a little bit nervous in Sam going into this game behind that line and to see how Adam Gase actually handled him. And that's the one funny thing about all of this, because all of a sudden today or yesterday was all these I told you shows, and I'm like, I'm not really sure what you're telling me because you really didn't tell me anything. I'm telling you, based on what we saw the first 4 weeks, we gave our opinions. Our opinions were this team has a lot to prove, whether it's Sam, the line, Adam Gase. They all have a lot to prove. And Sunday was a very good step. Pleasantly surprised, and I was dead wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. Yeah. But guess what? That one game doesn't define the season. Now it's like you got to build off that and keep showing us more. I mean, that's just the way this has to work. We're getting calls like, oh, Gase is now, he's a genius, he's Bill Belichick, he's this, he's that. Dude, you're only as good as your last performance. You beat the Cowboys and get your ass kicked by the Patriots, all momentum changes. Joe, it's about stringing together good performances and seeing improvement, working things in, being innovative. That's all things you want to see going forward.
Yeah, and I want to thank the last caller for calling in, but you're completely right. It's a lot of people, fans or whatever saying now, they just expected this to happen, and I don't remember those things. I remember going on, various social media platforms and people were saying that we were going to get beat, some worse than others, but a lot of it had to do with Sam as well, not just, the fact of, hey, he's coming back and he's going to be playing behind this offensive line that we've seen be terrible. Like you said, we were all wondering how Adam Gase would use him, what his game plan is going to look like. But a lot of people, and we said this on the show, was wondering, well, how Sam's going to come back from the mono? Is he really ready? Is his body ready? Is he physically there? Is there going to be any lasting effects? Those were real concerns going into this game. And now everybody's acting like, oh, yeah, it is what it is. I don't understand it. Like I said, I know a lot of people have selective memory about some things, because I also saw some people tweeting that I remember saying that they didn't like Sam at all, and they thought that I saw people tweeting about Sam's great after the game, and I remember they were tweeting that he was a bust at one point. So, I'm not going to hop on anybody's back here, but I'm just saying, let's not have selective memory. There were concerns coming into the game, rightfully so. If you watch this entire season, again, I'm going to keep hitting that home, because I don't think anybody watched any other games except for this one the entire season. There were concerns. There were righteous concerns. But, hey, guess what? We came in, we played the Cowboys, we played a great game, fan played great, and we won the game. And that's all that matters. Like you said, we have no problem being wrong here. We're excited about being wrong, because that means, hey, our franchise quarterback is going out there and doing what we need to see him do, and we're winning football games. So we're excited about it.
All right, we will go to Mr. NYSF Magazine. Jerry, what's up, man?
So I just landed in Florida, and so I missed the first couple hours of the show. I'm excited, though. I caught the tail end of this last call, and I'm very happy that you guys were all on the same page here, because I'm going to assume from the tone of what Joe was saying and what you were just saying, Ty, that everybody's calling up. Everything's smelling like roses around here, man. But I just want to caution everybody. Look, I'm excited. I love that game. It was exactly what we wanted to see. It was exactly what the Jets needed. Sam Darnold was great. Gase coached, I think, like a B+ game. And a win is always gonna make everybody positive and make everybody happy for the most part. There's still some clowns on Twitter. They're still angry, but whatever. But at the same time, Adam Gase, let's not go crazy with putting Adam Gase in the Hall of Fame just yet, I get that we won a game, and I get that everybody's excited, but let's just pump the brakes a little bit on the I told you so was about Adam Gase, because I know I was very critical of Adam Gase and his performance over the first 4 games. But nothing that happened in this game changes what happened over those first 4 games. And nothing that happened in this game changes what happened over Adam Gase's entire career as a head coach. So, I want to be wrong about Adam Gase. I truly do, and I really want to. I want to see, like, what everybody's saying, that or what a lot of people are saying, that that he never had his quarterback and now he's got Darnold, and the 2 of them are going to work amazingly together, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. Please let that happen. Please, sports gods, let that happen. But I'm still very skeptical. I want because the thing is, guys, if Dak Prescott, if he connects on that 2-point conversion and we blow another 21-3 lead at home, for the set, another double-digit lead at home like that, we're talking about a whole different thing nowadays, and it was pretty damn close to happening. So, let's just enjoy the moment, but let's not get crazy with people were getting crazy. They were like, "See, you're an idiot. How dare you question Adam Gase? Look at you, you fool, you swine." And I was like, "Man, you guys, nothing I said is nothing that anybody said this week in the days leading up to this game has been proven in either direction, right? I mean, Gase could turn out to be a great head coach here. He could also turn out to be complete trash. And nothing that happened in that game, again, 1 win is going to change that. So let's just take it easy, enjoy it. Let's hope we match that performance, and maybe, imagine we put another win up this week against New England. Then we got something to talk about, because then we got a nice, fairly easy schedule coming up. We can start to make some moves. But like you were just saying, Ty, let's just get a competitive game against New England and go out there and throw some punches, throw some haymakers, and with Darnold, I think we got a puncher's chance.
Yeah, and the thing is too is this team historically hasn't handled success well. When they play a big game, usually the following week they lay a complete dud. Now, obviously, Monday Night Football against the Patriots, that may not be the scenario, but how do they handle success? How do they handle everybody praising them and saying things are great? There's a lot of things this team still has to prove. Winning 1 game out of 5 means nothing. It's crazy. Listen, I'm as excited as the next guy. I'm super excited. I'm looking forward to it. Then I'm like, all right, how do they adjust to left tackle now? How are they going to do this? How do they, now that you have some film on Adam Gase's offense, the element of surprise is going to be gone. So now teams can actually game plan for you, because the time with Lou Falk was a joke. So now they're going to try to figure that out. So how do you adjust to that? So there's a lot to prove, a lot to go, and
a ton.
And then also there's also Joe Douglas has some things to do too. How does he handle it? Does he start? They re-sign Steve McClendon for a year. Do they re-sign Brian Poole? Do they do Hewitt? The trade deadline, are they sellers? Are they buyers? This organization has a lot to prove in the coming weeks.
Yeah, you couldn't be more right about the fact that this team has not responded well after big wins. I mean, you just got to look back to last year. We opened up against Detroit. We destroyed them on national TV. Jamal's all over his social media talking about it. I told you it's a different era of Jets football. Then they come out and get smacked at home against, in the first half against the Dolphins and tailspin a bit. But then they come back against Denver and Indianapolis, win back-to-back games, and they're 3-3, and you think they turned it around? Huge win against Andrew Luck in Indianapolis at home. Darnold looks great, and then what happened? They were 3-3 at that point. They end the season 4-12. So I mean, let's just relax. I know of all people, I'm probably the last one to say relax, because I'm probably one of the most optimistic, and especially after wins, I like to pump my fist and celebrate and all that stuff. But I'm really trying to take a different approach here, because I am very skeptical of Adam Gase. And I want to be proven wrong, but I'm going to really kind of rein it in a bit this year and just kind of take it 1 game at a time here, because I think that's really the only move that you can make as a Jet fan at this point. Let's all just cheer 1 game at a time and be pleasantly surprised like we were on Sunday.
Exactly. And one of the things that I think, Jay, that concerns me the most, especially going forward, is this offensive line. I know people are hyped up because Sam was able to move out of the way of the pressure, but the pressure was still there. You had guys really roaring down and really coming to get him. And you look at our left tackle situation, how would you handle that, and who would you play in the place of Beachum?
Man, it's a tough spot. I mean, you're gonna have to shuffle around some guys. I think they're talking about what, Adoga going over there, or Shell. I mean, it's a precarious situation right now, because not only is it a tough situation with the guys that we have in there, but now we're really lacking depth. I mean, we lost Osemele. It's like, God, if somebody else goes down now, I mean, whoa. So like we got to really hope that offensive line stays healthy. There's really nobody else. I mean, we were lucky. We lucked into the situation that we currently have. I think that we got Lewis and everything, and but we don't have very much depth there. So I'm not really sure who you want to go. Dancing around that entire line. I mean, you're not gonna have guys playing out of position or not in their in their normal position that they used to playing in. So it's. I'm with you, Joe. I mean, that's why I'm saying, we got to really take it easy, and with the expectations. I think that the schedule is set up really well for us to go on a little run here. But I mean, we're also kind of a check mark on some other team schedules. Hey, this could be a game that we could win. So with our offensive line, I mean, until we can shore that thing up, and that's probably not going to happen until this off season. Unless we can make a trade for like Trent Williams or something like that. But I don't really see that happening. So I think that we're going to have to just shuffle the guys around that we have and pray for good health the rest of the way.
How important do you think this Patriot game is in terms of the trade deadline? Do you think a win there makes his team more aggressive to try to buy and make a splash move, or if they lose, where it's kind of like, all right, we got to start selling and just pick up the pieces? Do you think it's that important or no?
You win this game against the Patriots, and you're at 2-4 now, 2-0 since Darnold's come back with that schedule coming up, and you start dumping players at the trade deadline. You start trading guys like Leonard Williams. I mean, some fans will understand that, that you're building for the future, but it's been a long time since we put a winning product out there, and you go back to back beating Dallas and then New England on Monday Night Football. It's going to be a really hard sell to the fans to say that you started trading off players. I mean, I'm not. Look, every player. I think has, if somebody wants to overpay for Leonard Williams, I think it's something you got to do. But I mean, it's a tough spot he's in. It's a tough spot that they're in as an organization because they're pitching their fans. I mean, you came into the season with all this renewed optimism and all this, the new jerseys, the new this, the new that. Sam Darnold's taking your new coach, new this, and new GM, and then all of a sudden, you're gonna get off to the start you got off to with, shorthanded, get all your guys back, and then start trading off pieces. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, that's a really good question, Ty. That's something I haven't really thought about yet, but, I kind of thought that we would be sellers, being that we were 0-4 now, we're 1-4, and it's like beat the Patriots, and you're right back in the season. So it's tough. You already played 2 games against the Pats. You got this weak schedule coming up. You could legitimately at 2-4, you could chart a path to being 10-6 with the rest of the schedule, but so you don't want to go dumping off, some of your better players. But at the same time, I'm with you, man. You're not a Super Bowl team this year, so if you want to build for the future, I think that like if you weren't in New York, if you were some out of market, Jacksonville, a team like that, Jacksonville's 2-4, and they traded Ramsey today, so it's hard to do in New York.
It's interesting, isn't it?
They will get beaten up.
It's interesting.
Say it again?
This game. Oh, I think it's interesting. Yeah. If they win this game, everybody's going to be inspired and justifying wins in a row. If they lose this one, it's like, all right, 1-5, start packing it up and start selling everything. It's fascinating to see how Joe Douglas handles this. But you got to keep in mind, a lot of these guys aren't his guys either.
I know, and you know what? Go ahead, Joe.
I'm sorry, guys, but who exactly are we selling? Who exactly would we be trading?
Whoever
that would be like
anybody.
Let me ask you a question, Joe.
Hold on. The only guy that we've consistently talked about trading, I'm talking about, gone from almost the beginning of the season, was Leonard Williams. If you're getting rid of Leonard Williams and you're getting a piece, say you get a 3rd-round pick, because I know some people want to trade him for a lineman as well, whatever. Say you get Trent Williams for Leonard Williams, or you get a 3rd-round pick. Is that really a surprise to anyone? Because according to all the fans, even before this game, he doesn't do anything.
If you include him in a package, you get Trent Williams, and you're actually a buyer. You're not a seller at that point, I don't think. I think that would be a big buy for them, because they would have to a draft pick.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, is that we're not making like moves that it's not like we're trading for, it's not like we're trying to trade for like Melvin Gordon. Like we're giving up some big time capital for Melvin Gordon. No, we're not doing that. We're trading for pieces that we need, like that we need to move forward and function. We're trading for pieces that are going to help Sam Darnold. We're not trading for overpriced corner. We're not, we're not doing those things. We're trying to figure out and make it function.
Here's my question. Let's say we get that breakout game from Leonard Williams in the New England game. Let's say he comes out, he sacks Brady twice. The Jets win the game 24-17 on the strength of a Leonard Williams late game sack, and then after the game they trade Leonard Williams for a 4th-round pick to the to whoever, to the NFC. You don't think that would cause an uproar amongst the fan base to be like, what are we doing? We just won our second game in a row. We beat the Patriots.
Yeah, I don't exactly know how, because we've watched, 3 years of him do what? We watched 3 years of him not do that. So if he does that for 2 games in a row and we can get a 3rd-round pick for him, I'm waving goodbye. And Leonard's from FC. I love him. But he's not what we need. We need help. We need an actual pass rusher. That's what we actually need. We need an actual pass rusher. We drafted Quinnen Williams. Then we went and got McClendon. You re-signed McClendon as well. We got guys that can do what he does. We need a pass rusher, and we need offensive linemen. Bad. So if we can do that...
Right, but are you going to get that with a 3rd or 4th-round draft pick that you're going to get for Leonard Williams? You're going to get a pass rusher?
Yeah, listen, if Joe Douglas is the general manager that you believe he is, he should be able to find a starting lineman in the 3rd round. That's done all the time.
Yeah.
You should be able to do that. So if it's
an interesting question.
Joe Douglas is the general manager that everybody believes he is. We're so excited about him. Hey, he should be able to do that. That should be able to be done here. But let me tell you, here's the flip side of that. Okay, say he does get those 2 sacks, and we beat the Patriots. Does that mean you want to pay him $14 million this coming off season?
No, definitely not. Definitely
okay,
not.
So that's the option.
You have to wait.
So you pay him, or he walks away, and you get nothing until I think 2021 is where we would get a comp pick for him, which would be a year from now. So either you pay him, or you get the value that you can right now and move on from him and build for your franchise quarterback.
Look, I'm with you in the sense that it feels like we have guys on the line that are every bit as good as he is at this point. Honestly, if he wasn't Leonard Williams, who was drafted with a number 6 pick with that reputation he had coming out, if you're just going based on production on the field, there's guys on the defensive line right now who are outplaying him. To be honest, guys that have undrafted guys and stuff like that. We have guys out of nowhere that are it's crazy. Steve McClendon's been our best defensive lineman. They rewarded him with an extra year. I appreciate that. But look, honestly, if we lost Leonard Williams, so I'm with you, Joe. Now that we're thinking out loud, Leonard Williams is you lose Leonard Williams off this team. Does it really crush you as even for this season? Probably not. So I guess whatever. Honestly, and then you're right. Who else are we trading? Who else are we dumping off? There's really who else is on the block? Really nobody. So it's an interesting question, though.
Yes.
I think
that's why we're trained professionals.
You guys gave me a thinking piece tonight, man. You guys.
But the one thing you really haven't touched on a lot, Kevin talked about it a little bit, was the stadium environment. On TV was obviously a lot of Cowboy fans. There was a lot of comments about the Cowboys, the Cowboy fans chanting or singing their song when the players got hurt. What was your assessment of how all that went down?
Yeah, I thought that was really classless, man. To be honest, I tweeted it right on the spot because, look, Neville Hewitt goes down and he stands up and he has a reaction what do you have, a stinger or something? But he had this reaction like he was in a lot of pain, severe pain, and then he dropped down like a sack of potatoes to the ground. And I got my eyes on him, and the Jets players were really concerned. They're taking a knee. They're coming out, from the huddle and walking over towards him, and all looking really concerned. And it gets quiet in the stadium, and we've been there before with some really serious, terrible injuries in the past. Bring up names with Dennis Byrd, stuff like that. You see a guy go down like that. Fortunately, he got up and he ran off the field. But while the guy's down, that's not the time to start "Let's Go Cowboys" cheers, man. That's just offensive. Dude, have a little respect. Listen, we go to opposing team stadiums all the time. I was in Dallas, and Dallas is a great fan base, and that stadium was amazing. Joe, you were there. It's like that. That's
Oh yeah.
I know, Ty, you were there too. we took that stadium over. The Jets won the game. We were doing, let's go, Eric Decker, Brandon Marshall cheers, back and forth. But it was time and a place for it. If a Cowboys player is down on the field, Fireman Ed's not standing up on his chair leading Jets chants while the guy's, possibly being carted off or something. So I was offended by that, and that really bothered me. I just think that's just, place and time. But to be expected from from some of these out of town Cowboy fans, man. I think they have a good fan base. I really enjoyed my time at their stadium, but it's a bunch of clowns that were there at MetLife. But I will say this, on the positive note, I thought it was really cool. Look, the crowd was 50-50, but I think that the 50% of fans that were there cheering for the Jets, they were loud, man. It didn't create some kind of deafening crowd noise that was gonna really affect the game. But when you get those 50,000 Jet fans there, those are the diehards, man. Those are those are diehard Jet fans that are in the building on a day like that. And they're not really appreciating these Cowboy fans. They're trying to out-cheer them. So it picked up that level. And there was a good vibe in that crowd, man. I commented on that too on Twitter after the game. I was proud because Fireman Ed in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left, he got the defense chants going, which we haven't heard in that stadium in a long time, and the whole stadium got into it, and the defense was really feeling it. Jamal Adams, he was dancing on the field, while we were doing the defense cheer and everything. It was cool. So, I think that with wins, I was proud of the Jet fans during the Cleveland game too on Monday Night Football. I mean, look, it was a terrible game, but they were trying to get behind Luke. They were trying to will the team to a win. I think that as this team wins a little more, that we can regain some of the crowd noise. It's never going to be like it was at Giant Stadium. We all just have to accept that. But I think that we can, as this team, if they put up more performances like they did, on Sunday, that's just one of those kind of perfect storm type of situations. And Cowboys aren't immune to it at their home crowd either, because I saw the Packers go into that stadium and have that place half filled with Packer fans. That's just the way it is nowadays. With as accessible as tickets are on places like StubHub and SeatGeek, fans, and especially on a holiday weekend. I mean, a lot of people were off on Monday for Columbus Day, and it's easy to travel to New York and get a little New York trip in, go watch your Cowboys play, get some cheap, relatively cheap tickets, and be a part of the scene. So, it's to be expected. Unfortunately, we got the Patriots coming in. It's going to be very similar, and then we have the Giants, and that's going to be really similar, and then we got the Steelers. So it's like, we're going to be dealing with that all season. Yeah. But I just hope the Jets continue to win, and then we'll be able to laugh at all those clowns as they leave our stadium, just like we did on Sunday.
Jay, good stuff as always, man. NYSFMag.com. Give out some information.
Yep. Yeah, man. We just distributed the new magazine, sent them out to the subscribers, all that good stuff, and I just got back to Florida. We're going to start working on the next issue pretty soon with, Primetime's going to get to work writing about, probably, JV high school football in Central Jersey or something like that. He writes about everything else. So, we got your MMA articles in there are killing it. I know, we saw Corey Anderson popping that on social media and all your guys. He's got a big fight coming up in November. Psyched to watch that. We appreciate all the support from all those fighters and everything, and all your great writing, Ty, and we'll just keep the train rolling in November. Hopefully, we'll have a positive Jets article to write in the next issue. This one was not so positive, but that's the way it goes, and you start 0-4. But we are looking forward to hopefully talking about getting right back into the thick of the playoff race, and 6-5 or something like that as the next article comes out.
Good stuff, Jay. Talk to you later, man.
Have a good night, guys.
Once again, nysfmag.com. Check it out. The magazine, Kevin's doing a phenomenal job. He's writing all kinds of cool stuff. All sports are covered. I do MMA stuff, and as Jay said, I want to thank Corey Anderson, also Mark Henry, too. They're promoting the magazine, so we definitely appreciate that. We're going to go to Gangrene David. What's up, man?
The Jets get a win, and I met Sam Darnold right after. How you guys doing?
All about self-promotion, Joe. You notice this?
Hey, look, David, shout out to you for calling in, man. Look, he's a young guy just doing his thing. That's what he's about, making sure everyone knows what he's doing and where he's doing it.
All right, well, obviously, you guys saw. I actually want to ask you guys this before I get into my analysis of the game. What were your initial reactions? I know I asked you this already, Joe. What were your initial reactions to watching the second longest New York Jets play in Jets history?
I was excited as hell, man. It was about time. It was an aggressive play call. It's a pass we wanted to see forever, and it's a play by Robbie Anderson we wanted to see forever. It's what we've been waiting for 5 weeks. So it was great, dude. It's like that's what we want to see more of. That's the ability Sam has to buy time in the pocket, the big arm, all that stuff. It's just that's what Adam Gase was brought here for.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing that I wanted to talk about, especially going into this game where a lot of fans were on the verge of thinking, Sam Darnold wasn't going to be the answer. Sam Darnold wasn't going to be this whole savior. He wasn't going to solve all the problems. But I went into this game thinking that he was going to be the best chance that we had to win on offense. But, boy, did that dude look like he was playing like the savior that we needed. I know I'm exaggerating a bit, but he played really well. You saw a lot of throws that he made. Like, you see the resiliency that he has as a quarterback, and not even just going into this game. He showed it last year, too, coming off the ankle injury and coming off that pick six he threw in his first career pass. The dude shows his resiliency as a quarterback no matter what kind of adversity that he battles. That's the thing I like about Sam Darnold, and I think it really relies on his work ethic because you saw how bad Sam wanted it, and he showed it on that field on Sunday. And you saw that because of that work ethic, and that work ethic I don't know if it was the work ethic or whatever it was, but that could have influenced Adam Gase to start becoming really aggressive with his quarterback, even though he should have done that anyway. But Gase is confident in his quarterback. That's what we really saw out of this game on Sunday. And you saw Sam maximizing his resources. You saw everybody getting the ball. You saw everybody getting involved. And that's what you want to see out of a sufficient offense. Not these dinks and dunks and overusing Le'Veon Bell. You saw legitimate offense. You saw the offensive line look better. I don't think I ever saw Sam get a cleaner pocket than I did on Sunday. Like, he looked precise. He looked poised. And he was just making the right decisions, other than that one bad interception, which was a bad read. But, hey, he was bound to throw one sooner or later anyway. He hasn't thrown one since Week 14 of 2018. But the offense looked really great. Like, it made a complete 180, and I couldn't be any more thrilled with the way the offense looked.
Yeah, and look, David, I want to thank you for calling in. I'm right there with you. I mean, Sam was able to move, avoid a lot of the wrestlers that were coming at him, really barreling down, and he was able to make some great throws. And that's where I want to ask you, because you look at our left tackle situation. Beachum looks like he's going to be out week to week. How would you handle that situation, and who would you put over there? Are you putting Adoga over there, Brandon Shell?
Honestly, looking at Chuma Adoga at the right tackle spot, it looks like he's really going to grow from that spot, because you look at the way Adoga looked at right tackle, he was shutting down one of the best pass rushers in the league in DeMarcus Lawrence for a third-round rookie right tackle. And I think you want to put players in the best position to succeed as an offensive line. So moving Chuma Adoga to left tackle and then moving Brandon Shell to right tackle, it looks like Brandon Shell playing left tackle, obviously he did look very serviceable. He looked efficient. And I think with Adoga providing that sufficiency that you could have at the right tackle and you could have him continue to grow, especially with the game he had against DeMarcus Lawrence, I mean, that could be a huge step in that young kid's career. But if you're taking that risk, keeping Adoga at right tackle, and if Brandon Shell coming in for Kelvin Beachum at that left tackle spot, it can be more serviceable than you think. Why not take that shot and see what Shell could do at that left tackle spot? Maybe he's better at left tackle than he could be at right tackle. And it looked like during that Cowboy game, he seemed pretty serviceable over there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. I mean, that's playing the Patriots is a whole different animal, man. That's when they're going to be game planning for it. They're going to try to take advantage of different things. It's going to be interesting to see how the Jets handle that. On defense, do you see any changes to be made? I mean, I know obviously they got rid of Frankie Louvu because they got to bring back Chris Herndon. Do you see any lineup changes, or do you think that they're going to keep going the way they're going?
Well, I mean, obviously there's a lot of buzz on Leonard Williams being traded, which could happen in the next couple of weeks or so. I mean, the trade deadline is pretty close. But, however, one thing that I'm really hoping to see is I hope C.J. Mosley comes back, because the way this defense is played, especially the linebacker spot, Neville Hewitt and Blake Cashman holding their own. The corners, obviously, I don't know why they're still playing 10 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but I have a question for you, though. If you look at C.J. Mosley coming back, who would you put on the bench? Would you put on Hewitt or Cashman?
honestly, like, you could kind of have that situation where if Mosley comes back, you could use Cashman as that Blake. You can use Blake Cashman now as that insurance policy where you could kind of use him as that rotational player. So I could see Neville Hewitt kind of going back to more of that blindside back with Mosley coming back, and then you could have Cashman in as that rotational guy.
Yeah, I can see that, David. You know, especially with Mosley coming back, like you said, you can use Cashman within the rotation, and you can have Hewitt playing on the other side. I think Hewitt has looked really, really solid out there. He's made some really great plays so far. But what are your thoughts about players like Terrell Basham, guys that have really come on, you know, from that rotational spot as well, and have been able to really play well for us as well within that D-line rotation?
Yeah, one guy that I was really keeping my eye on, and I think it was Phillips, number 98. That guy is actually starting to step up as that insurance policy on the line. I mean, he's getting a lot of first-team reps, and you saw him getting a lot of hits on Dak Prescott, and I think you could see him now becoming more of a rotational, because the thing with this defense is not even just Blake Cashman, but guys like Phillips, even Basham, these could be guys where you could see them being key rotational insurance policy guys, especially in case someone like Jordan Jenkins, if he goes down again, or even Brandon Copeland. Terrell Basham obviously developing, Phillips developing into these rotational guys. You know, if you're Greg Williams, you're actually developing a lot of options you could use, especially when you have guys coming back.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good problem to have. I mean, the defensive line, there's a lot of talent there. There's a lot of unsung guys with Fotokasi and Phillips, and a lot of guys making plays, especially when you figure that Henry Anderson's been out. Now you get Copeland back. You figure another week he'll be flying around more, get more playing time. Jordan Jenkins with a monster sack. He's a guy that, you know, it's exciting to see how it all comes out. Now it's just a matter of, I'd be real curious to see when Nate Hairston comes back and he's fully healthy, if they bench Tremaine Johnson again. Is that something you consider?
100%. Tremaine Johnson's complete trash.
He's terrible. He's just terrible.
He's terrible. I think I'd rather see Harrison over him at this point.
Is there?
Exactly.
Would you think would there be any kind of trade market for Tremaine Johnson? Would you take like a 6th-round pick, 5th-round pick? Would you take a pick next year, like the year following? Like how? I'm not kidding, dude. I'm not kidding. If they said, "Hey, we'll give you a 5th round in 2021,"
you're going to take that contract? I don't know if I'm taking that contract. I don't know if I'm taking that contract.
Worth the shot. Just asking a question.
That's the big problem is contract. The contract. Nobody's going to take that contract.
No one's going to take
it. We
it.
don't want to take that contract. No one's going to take it.
No.
Even if we were to say, oh, look, you can have this dude just give us a 7, they're not going to take that contract, especially with the way he's playing. Nobody's going to.
He's not living up to that contract at all.
Nope.
All right. I'm trying to get him the hell out of here.
No, look. And
as far as I'm concerned, we're stuck with him until otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're stuck with him for at least one more year before we can get out of it. So he's probably, unless they just cut him in the off season just to make a point, I think he's here again until 2021. We can just get rid of him, I believe. But man, we're stuck with that guy. But another guy that we've got that's really playing extremely physical is Poole. What are your thoughts about him, David? The way that he's flying around out there and absolutely laying guys out.
Well, Brian Poole is actually showing me that he's one of the more underrated corners that we got on the roster. I think Brian Poole, probably out of every single corner that we got, has probably impressed me the most so far, especially the way he's attacking at the line of scrimmage. He's obviously showing that he could be dominant past the line of scrimmage. Obviously, matched up one-on-one, he's obviously fun to watch as well. So Brian Poole, I think, in my opinion, is probably the most physical corner that we've got so far going throughout the season.
David, good stuff as always, man. Thanks for calling in. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on, guys, and what a win, and I hope Mosley, Herndon come back. I mean, we got a huge game coming up against the Patriots, and I think we're going to need everybody healthy for this game if we want to even have a shot. But, Tyson, you coming out to the game Monday night?
Pretty sure I'm going to be there, man. I'm pretty sure. So if I am, I'll text you.
Oh, awesome, man. I'll definitely be there. So I'll catch you guys later, and peace out and go Jets.
Yes, sir. All right, we're going to go to Just Jets. What's up, man?
Hey, Joe. Hi, Tyson. How you guys doing?
Doing pretty good, man. Victory Tuesday. It's finally some positivity around here, which is cool.
Absolutely. I feel much better. I know I called in last Tuesday and it was doom and gloom, but I'm feeling a lot better after the Jets pulled off that victory. A little close for comfort, but at the end of the day, a win is a win. So I'll take it.
Yeah, the thing is, and that's the weird thing about the fan base sometimes. It's like when you're 0-4 and you're playing horrifically, like predictions of losing and bad things to happen is expected. Like, there's no reason not to expect it. Like we all had hope that, Sam played well and all this, but I think a lot of these didn't expect what happened. And that's just human nature. But now it's like you get a big win, you enjoy it, but you got to keep things in perspective. Like, all right, we did a lot of good things. We have a whole lot of new challenges with the Patriots, especially with left tackle. And you want this team to build off that. And that's the one thing it'd be interesting to see. Like, this was a very desperate team against the Cowboys, ridiculously desperate, at home, everything else.
Yeah.
Now the question is, will they be as desperate on Monday night? Will they have that same sense of urgency? Will they have the same aggressive game plan? Do you have that kind of confidence in Adam Gase to do that?
I mean, I sure hope so. They're definitely going to be riding high, but again, like you said, they got to keep things in perspective, and the Jets have to learn how to play 4 quarters of football. They still cannot play. They look really good in the second half, but let's keep things in perspective here. In the second half, they only put up 3 points. Like, that's just not acceptable. Like, they have to play all the way through, and that's not going to cut it against, a top-tier team like the Patriots. So, that's something the Jets still have to work on. So I hope that Adam Gase can, rally the troops and tell them, the victory is nice, but we need to put our head down and keep grinding here. And we have to play pretty much a flawless game to beat the Patriots. Now, it does help, that we're going to be getting potentially Chris Herndon back and C.J. Mosley back. But, we have to play, a cohesive game. And we have to, expect similar results in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're right. And I want to thank you for calling in. And we'll talk about the Patriots on Friday. But like Tyson was saying as well, this is something we've got to just continue. You got to keep the same intensity. You got to game plan well. You got to go into every game with this type of fire that we came into this one with. But I'll tell you what, the defense was out there just absolutely flying around and just destroying people. And a big part of that was Greg Williams and his game plan. What are your thoughts about him so far and the way he's been able to really get this defense to play to the ball?
Well, I think, like I've said, on all my videos and even when calling you guys, I've really been impressed with Greg Williams and how he's kind of, like I said, rallied the troops. And even in all these games, we've had all this losing, and yet Greg Williams always seems to bring the fire and the intensity and keeps the defense has kept the Jets in the majority of these games, even when our offense has looked completely abysmal and lackluster. So that's credit to Greg Williams. Even when Adam Gase kind of did not bring any sort of emotion, and he looked like a, blank. He didn't have any emotion on his face. And Greg Williams continued to bring that fire. So I'm very impressed with Greg Williams and his defense and the intensity he brings with his players.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Vincent Smith, man? We really haven't talked about him at all, and he's making like contributions everywhere the last 2 weeks.
Absolutely. I mean, if you saw, like, against the Eagles, he had that end around for the touchdown, and, he made contributions this week. Yeah, I mean, he kind of just, like, came out of nowhere. Like, I know he was picked up, I think, from the Texans, but he's been really kind of just flew under the radar, but he's been a nice pickup. I've been very impressed with him so far.
Yeah, there's a couple like kind of under the radar things that Joe Douglas has done that has seemed to work out, but now he's got his hands full because the offensive line is becoming a mess with injuries, and now it's like you don't know with Sam back. The biggest priority is to protect Sam, and now it's like you can play call to save him, but certain things you can't, and that's the blind side. So how concerned are you there, and how much pressure is on Joe Douglas to maybe try to address this sooner rather than later?
Well, like I said, I think the Jets actually played, their offensive line, I think, looked pretty good against the Dallas Cowboys. They only, I think, allowed 2 sacks, but for the most part, they actually gave Sam Darnold the pocket. And I think that's credit to Sam Darnold and his high football IQ and getting the football out quickly and his mobility. But, I've been impressed with guys like, Chuma Edoga, for example. He played phenomenal when you think about who he was guarding and DeMarcus Lawrence. And, that hands off to him and his effort because we all know what happened against the Eagles. He just looked awful. So I think
Sam Darnold will definitely, take pressure off of this offensive line based on his football IQ. But obviously, I think, you got Joe Douglas is going to have to maybe move some pieces around, and I'm all for the idea since Leonard Williams is on the trading block to potentially make a trade there for, let's say, a third-round pick and have that insurance policy to potentially, whether it be for a pass rusher or offensive line. So I think you do have some flexibility there. And, we'll see what happens with Ryan Khalil. Like I said, in my opinion, he's kind of underperformed, and his energy is not there. So, like I said, I don't know, Harrison, I don't know what he should come in there. I don't know where he's been, but I would be all for bringing him in there.
Well, the weird thing about Harrison is the Jets tried out 2 centers today, and it's like you have Harrison. Like if you're not happy with Khalil, I understand it. Then why not play Harrison? Now you're trying out centers. It's almost like either they don't have faith in Harrison, or I don't know what the hell it is. It's very strange how they're handling that. But it's just weird. Like it's just very strange. But give out your information, man. You got a YouTube channel. How are your videos going?
Yeah, so far pretty good. Been consistent, getting a lot of likes. Just been trying to build the channel up from the ground up. You all can follow me on Just Jets on YouTube, and my Instagram is @official_JustJets. I'm going to keep plugging in content, see where it goes. Hopefully the Jets wins will continue. So Tyson and Joe, thanks for having me on, and let's see what happens, and hopefully the Jets can come away with a victory.
Oh, we can use another one, man. Have a good night, man. Thank you. Joe, that's the interesting thing. It's like, you enjoy the victory, then you realize, all right, you're still 1-4. We have a lot of work to do, and you want to keep winning, you want to keep building, and you want to keep finding pieces. So now it's like, to me, this gets a lot more interesting. It really does, because it's like, all right, you have the trade deadline, you have players getting hurt, you have this and that, and it's like, this is where you earn your money as a general manager. Can you pull off a shrewd move? And you see, just say, for example, like the Rams today made a litany of moves. They're 3-3. What are they 3-3? I don't know what the record is, but I know they're struggling. And it's like, all right, we're going to make moves, and they completely shake things up. The Chiefs are making moves. Like there's teams making moves. They don't want to stand pat. And the Jets are kind of like, all right, where are they at? They're 1-4. You get a win on Monday, you're 2-4. Then things can get really interesting. But you really can't stand pat either, though, man. Like he should be constantly trying to upgrade this team because there's like legitimate holes here.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to thank the last caller for calling in. He absolutely should. And we keep screaming about Trent, Williams. Again, there's rumors that, that other teams are looking at him as well and trying to lock him up too, but he can't stand pat. I don't want him to overpay. We've seen that in the past with other general managers, McCagnon, so on and so forth, kind of overpaying for guys or, trading away picks that we didn't think he should trade away for certain guys. But I tell you what, if you can get a piece, like any piece on the offensive line pretty much, or, you can get yourself a pass rusher and it's not going to absolutely, just steamroll you as far as picks, then, hey, I can see him making a move. But he can't stand pat and just let all these other teams make these moves and better their football team, especially when we're still building. Again, we constantly talk about this. There's other pieces on this team that need to be improved. So we're a team still looking for talent in quite a bit of spots.
Yeah, and for me, it's also at the quarterback position. Like I will never understand why they are standing pat with Fales and Luke Falk on the practice squad. Like, dude, it just makes no sense to me. It will never make sense to me. And I don't care what kind of nonsense anybody wants to sell me. You want to put your team in a position for it to succeed, and if Sam goes down again, you're going to lose. We have no chance. And that's ridiculous to me. But, I guess whatever. He's the expert, not me. We're going to go to, we haven't heard from this guy in a while. I think the losing stole his thunder a little bit, Joe. But now he's back. It's your best friend, Justin.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, Justin?
What's going on?
How you doing, man? You excited? Victory Tuesday. We're back on track here.
Nah, I'm not as excited. Obviously I'm excited, but let's call it what it is. We're getting too high. I expected a win versus Dallas. Call me crazy, but I saw it coming. 2 offensive linemen out. I knew it was going to trickle down for Dak and Zeke not running the ball. I expected to win versus Dallas. I'm already on to the Patriot game.
Wow. Okay. Well, I want to thank you for calling in, Justin. Listen, I hear what you're bringing, but I'm excited. I'm not over the moon. I'm not, going nuts, but I am excited about what I saw out of Sam Darnold. The poise, the arm, the accuracy, the way he was able to go out there and just move this offense. I want to get your thoughts on him and his performance.
Yeah, no, so we definitely have one. I mean, Sam's definitely the truth. I mean, I think this offensive line play is getting a little hindered because everyone's saying the offensive line played great, but I mean, I think it's Sam's greatness because he's getting the ball out quicker, making Anadoga and Lewis look a little better than they actually are. So, I mean, yeah, no, Sam is definitely, we definitely have one with Sam, but the offensive line definitely needs a little work, though, so.
Justin, with the return of C.J. Mosley, who would you bench, Hewitt or Cashman?
Neither, to be honest. Let's just keep the rotation going, keep guys fresh. I mean, one thing that Greg Williams is doing an excellent job is getting everybody to perform. Honestly, I mean, let's just call it what it is, though. We need to see more from the offense. Just like Sam said, the defense was basically on the field the whole game. I saw that drive come down to the end, and I knew Dallas was going to drive because the defense was on the field for 3/4 of the second half. Sam knows it. The offense needs to be more in sync, and they need to produce more because the defense is on the field for too long still. I say this game after game.
No, listen, I completely agree. What are your thoughts on the special teams, man? Lackland Edwards has been doing pretty well, and the kicker made his kick, the returns. What are your thoughts on special teams play?
I mean, yeah, special teams hasn't been bad. I mean, it hasn't hurt, but, I mean, I think we can still see a little more. I mean, I'm kind of used to the fair catch and not getting anything from the return game. So as long as they don't fumble or do nothing crazy with missing field goals, I mean, I think the special teams has been better than we expected.
Do you see the Jets being buyers or sellers during the trade deadline?
Honestly, that's a tough question. I mean, to be honest, let's get Leonard Williams out of town, second and third rounder, Williams, whatever you want to get for him. If you want to keep him at this rate, it just doesn't make sense because the guy. Let's just get something for him.
Yeah. Look, I hear you there, Justin. Is there a position that you would target though to trade for to really help improve our football team?
Nah, that's a tricky one. I mean, I don't know. That's tough. I mean, it depends who really becomes available. If you can get a steal from a guy, I mean, why not? If you can give Sam another weapon, I mean, offensive line, receiver, maybe if someone shakes loose. I mean, I don't know. That's a tough question. I can give you a better answer after the Patriot game on Monday.
What's your level of confidence in Adam Gase right now? You think he's going to build off of anything?
Yeah, I'm very confident. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to see tomorrow, but I am very confident that this Jet team can compete with the Patriots. And if we get C.J. Mosley back and Herndon back, I think we're going to pull this one out if those two play, to tell you the truth.
Justin, good call, man. We appreciate you calling in.
Yeah, good.
All right, Joe, it was interesting. Yankee John, if you don't follow him on Twitter, you should because he's a phenomenal follower. It's at @the_Yankee_John. Asked a great question, man. He always answers great questions, or asks us great questions. And I don't know why. He's probably a better fan than we are. But he goes, he's a great fan. He knows his stuff inside out and backwards, man. He is, what has Joe Douglas done, or what can he do this season to differentiate himself from his predecessor, Mike Maccagnan? And I'll answer that question first. If Joe Douglas wants to separate himself, he's going to completely stockpile this offensive line. That's how he can differentiate himself, and starting as soon as possible. Because now it's like we finally have Sam back, and the line is melting in front of him. Where Alex Lewis was a good move, the guy's playing well, but now you have, you could have a rookie starting at the right side, and then you could have a completely, I don't know what you can classify Brandon Shell, playing left tackle. Joe, if Joe Douglas wants to make himself a complete difference maker, he makes a power move for the offensive line. That would impress me.
Yeah, first off, Yankee John is the greatest. He already knows. We definitely tweet. I go back and forth with him. He's always got great gifts, great reactions to a lot of stuff. He's hilarious, so he is an excellent follow. But if Joe Douglas wants to separate himself from Maccagnan, you said as well, addressing the offensive line, but I believe also in the off season, it's making the draft count, really making it matter. If you look at the issues that we've had on this football team, I'm going to keep talking about it because I was telling people about this live while it was going on. A lot of the issues that we have here, a lot of the holes, is because of the horrible drafts, particularly in your mid-rounds. Your mid-rounds is what really make up your football team because there's more picks in the mid-rounds than you have usually a first-round picks. So if he can really make it matter in the mid-rounds, and he can really pick guys, in that second, third, fourth round, stuff like that that's going to stick around and matter on this football team, then that's what's really going to help this team out, particularly if we're talking about offensive linemen. So if you can get some guys, like I said, some guards, some tackles, if you can get, a solid center in the third round that's going to be able to stick with you and protect Sam and protect your franchise quarterback, and also building other spots around there too, wide receiver, because we saw Maccagnan bust out our Darius Stewart and Chad Hansen, guys like that. So if you can make those picks matter and then, use free agency, sprinkle in here and there, and not really rely on it because your drafts have been so bad, that will separate him from Maccagnan altogether.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be interesting. At this point right now, I think there should be some desperation to get this offensive line solidified. You have 2 starters out on the left side, which is just, it's a glaring hole. Now it's like you got to be concerned, especially with the lack of depth. We're still getting more calls. We're going to go to Zach in Queens. Zach, what's up, man?
What's going on, guys? Great to hear from you. What's going on?
Hey, man, it's Victory Tuesday. We got a lot of excitement finally. We got a win finally, so it's some good things to talk about.
Definitely. Great win this week. Honestly, with what was going on with the team, originally with the first 3 weeks, it was just brutal. Obviously not getting a win, and obviously we just saw a lot of things that really shook our heads, and we just really didn't understand what was going on. But I do think that Gase is definitely getting back the confidence of fans. But something tells me, and I spoke to a lot of people about this, and they kind of agree with me, that what do you guys think about Gase's play calling? Do you think that throughout the first few weeks he was with Darnold being out, and do you think he was limiting Falk and Simeon with the play calling, or do you think he was hiding plays from when they would play teams and they would put Falk out there or Simeon? Do you think that they would specifically draw up different plays, and not do the plays
Falk,
that?
To be honest with you, I think if he was hiding plays and hiding his playbook while the team was losing games, he should be fired just because of incompetence. That would be completely inexcusable. Yep. I think the fact was just Falk just. I think Falk just sucked. To be honest with you, he was terrible. Your quarterback sucks when you go through waivers and nobody wants you. When you can get cut and go to the practice squad, you suck as a quarterback. And that was what Adam Gase felt comfortable starting. And it completely hindered him, the team, and everything else. So, but I will say this again. If he held back anything and completely limited everything in fear of showing anything, he should be fired because of that. That's gross incompetence, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the crazy
I don't think it was just that, though, and I want to thank the caller for calling in, but I don't think it was just that. I think Luke Falk was bad. He was bad, but I think also Gage's game plans were trash, too, and they were getting easily sniffed out, and people knew what was up, and he didn't have anything at that time. And again, I think people don't really understand, and Tyrone kind of touched on it as well, too, the impact of Darnold, how Darnold can come out there just with the way that he plays, how great he is. He can check in and out of stuff. He can move around. Like I said, there was a lot of pressure that was coming his way that he slid and moved out of. Well, Luke Falk ain't doing that. Luke Falk is going to stand right there, try to make his read and get smacked. But again, the play call is what the play call is. There was even guys on the defensive side of the ball for some of those games we made. I remember we talked about the Eagles where they said we knew what was coming. We literally knew what he was going to do, and we went out there and completed the play. So, look, Falk was bad, and if Gaze was holding himself back, like you said, Tyson, he should be gone. But I don't believe it was that. I believe it was that Adam Gaze's game plans for those games were trash as well, and he should be held accountable for that too.
Right. No, I definitely agree with you guys. And, just, another point just to bring out, I do think that Falk was putrid and he was beyond terrible. But I do think that, when you see the same thing week after week, and we just saw the same thing, like what is this guy doing trying to throw beyond the line of scrimmage and then expect a guy like Robbie Anderson to try to, this guy isn't Brandon Marshall. He's not a Plaxico Burress. He's fast. All Robbie Anderson is he's tall, he's fast, and, that's, you saw that this past week with the 92-yard bomb touchdown from Darnold. Straight out, he all he do is throw it up, and Robbie can just, beat his, his cornerback on the route there. And, I do expect Sam Darnold to, finish off the year on a high note. And like you guys said, getting back Herndon is going to definitely help. And I really think the heart and soul of that defense week one. I mean, I was at that game week one, and the best player on that field, with all due respect to Jamal Adams, was C.J. Mosley. I mean, the man was all over the place. I mean, he truly is a wrecking train. He really is. And I really do think that, beyond this offseason, I think that, Douglas has really a lot to, deal with. And I do think that the offensive line will be, first and foremost. But you also have to think about, trying to get another top receiver in the league. The Jets don't have a number one receiver. And just imagine, the Jets actually having a number one receiver with all the current weapons they have now. It would really make the Jets, a more, legitimate, playoff threat, down the line. So, it's just very exciting, to see these guys get back. Hmm?
Would you consider A.J. Green in a trade?
Absolutely not. Just because of his injury history. Just because of his injury history, and nothing against AJ, nothing against him. I would prefer a guy like Mike Evans, to be honest, just because Mike Evans is just one hell of a receiver. You talk about a guy who will get the ball and go up there and just battle on a weekly basis. I mean, if you saw this past week's London game, I mean, Mike Evans was beasting it, and I mean, this guy is just. I mean, they're guys that are good receivers, and they're guys that can just make catches, and there's no heart there. A guy like Mike Evans, I mean, if the Jets were able to somehow pull off a trade for him, I would love it. I think the fans would love it. I think Darnold would tremendously benefit from it, and I think they're lacking a number one now.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to be available, dude. I mean, they have Godwin down there, but I mean, they're going to keep him. That was something in the off season, but now Arians will keep him. I think A.J. Green will be available just because of the fact that he's in the last year's contract and the Bengals are a complete train wreck. But it's interesting, man. They have a lot of holes, and Joe Douglas has a lot of challenges coming up. So, Zach, thanks for calling in, man. We appreciate it.
Not a problem, guys. Thank you for having me. Take care.
No problem. You too. Joe, interesting show, a lot of excitement, a lot of opinions about what to do with the offensive line. And, it's, like I said, there's some moves to be made here. Like, you can't really stand pat, and you got to keep growing and developing this team.
Yeah, and I want to thank our last caller for calling in. There are moves to be made, but, again, Joe Douglas has to make them smartly. A guy like A.J. Green, you should not be interested in. I would not trade for that guy. Long injury history. The older guy, no thanks. You got to move on. I've heard, again, there's names of receivers out there. I've heard OBJ is out there. I've heard the Browns are silently taking, looking for offers for him. There's other names out there that I think would be more interesting, and I think the fan base as a whole would be more apt to say, okay, maybe we can make a move for that guy as long as it doesn't kill us. But AJ is not one of those guys that I would make a move for. Again, we talked about it all, show as well, is if you can make a move to get a solid quality offensive lineman in here, a guy that can really protect Sam for years to come, I think you have to do that as well. But again, you have to make these moves smartly. You cannot be like a crazy general manager that's going out there and just getting fleeced for picks.
No, I agree. No, definitely, you got to find building blocks for the future and also find pieces to protect Sam. So, as we wrap things up, first thing is we want to thank all the callers. We definitely appreciate it. We want to thank everybody that follows us on YouTube, Let's Talk Jets Radio, Instagram and Twitter, Facebook. We definitely appreciate it. It's just been crazy. So we definitely, like I said, we're live Tuesday nights doing the recap, Friday night doing the preview. And Joe, it's been a wild one. It is your time to shine.
Listen, I am the man of the people. I'm here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote our Facebook page. Everyone, search Let's Talk Jets Radio. Like that page. Our content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message us. We'll message you right back. We love going back and forth talking about this show. Also, leave us some feedback. We love hearing about what you people think we do here on Let's Talk Jets Radio. Also on Twitter as well at YoungJ000. That's 3 zeros. Go ahead and follow me. I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I'm the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Darnold jersey on. I will troll you right back. I'm also on YouTube as well at YoungJ00. That's 2 zeros on YouTube, 3 on Twitter. I do a video about the Jets every single week. I also talk about other teams as well. So go ahead and subscribe to my content on there as well. You want to troll me on there as well? No issues. I will troll you right back. And as always, people, when you see me in person, okay, it is arms out, chest open. Come on. Show me the money! You know, after a week like this, where we got ourselves a win, you still hate me. That's crazy. That's all I'm saying. That's crazy. You know what I mean? But I'm not going to get sidetracked by you. You know what I'm saying? Donna's out here throwing strikes. I'm going to throw strikes as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to move forward with the people. So listen, when you see me in person, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone, all right? They will cost you absolutely nothing. Do not listen to Roush. I want to thank you folks for calling in. Without you people, we are absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to call in and talk with us. And again, folks, don't forget, Sisters Network, Essex County, all over our social media platforms. Donate, volunteer your time if you can. Breast cancer awareness, everyone. Get involved. Get aware. Again, male listeners, this affects you as well. It's not just females. Men can get breast cancer too. Go get yourself checked. Early detection is key.
Well said, man. Enjoy the rest of your week. We will talk Jets-Patriots Friday night. The game is Monday night. And maybe some moves we made. You never know.
Trash.